I entered Rosewood High to see a big building entering my view. This was the best werewolf school in the entire werewolf world, and they were known to be very strict, disciplined, and demanded perfection. I worked hard for my entire life to enter this school. Without a scholarship, I couldn't afford to study here. Everyone here screamed wealth, from the expensive cars that were lined in the parking to the expensive clothes they were wearing. I stood out in my 5-year-old worn-out sweatshirt, faded jeans, and white sneakers. But I didn't care. My motive was only one, and by coming here, I managed to get one step closer to it. As I walked in, people were giving me looks of disgust, hate, and pity. Some were even laughing while pointing fingers at me. I was a master in ignoring. Well, I mastered it with time, and now their words or looks didn't matter. I made my way towards the office and collected my schedule. In the hallways, I was surrounded by many powerful auras. Rosewood High had the top most powerful alphas of the world. The best of best alphas, betas, and gammas studied here, and entry of an omega like me will definitely make me a laughing stock for them. First period was werewolf history. As I was making my way towards my class, looking straight ahead when I heard a loud growl from my side. The growl had a lot of power. Enough power to raise goosebumps on your body. This man was surely powerful. I turned around to see that now everyone was moving towards the windows. I made my way towards them to see a fight going on, the fighting arena outside. In the middle stood a big brown wolf with brown eyes. Opposing him was dark brown one, which was much smaller in size. The fight ended as fast as it started. With a minute, the dark brown wolf was down on the ground unconscious. Everyone started cheering. "Eric! Eric! Eric!" The girls were going crazy. Some even cried in happiness when he looked at them. He was surely handsome with that 6 feet structure, ripping muscled and cute dimples. But I knew better that he was nothing but cute. His aura was deadly, unlike anyone's here. I was openly staring at him, trying to decipher his mystery when his dark brown eyes met mine. I thought he would ignore me just like he ignored his fangirl, but boy, I was wrong. His eyes never left mine. He continued to stare at me, while the girls behind and around me continued to shriek, thinking that he was watching them. I stood frozen, unable to decide what to do. It was like he was seeing through my soul from my eyes. Such was the intensity of his stare. I turned around, breaking our eye contact. Making my way out of the crowd, I headed towards my class, lost in my thoughts. Why would he stare at me like that? Maybe because he could feel that I was an omega. But no one cared for an omega, then why would he? I made it to my first class on time and sat beside a girl. Her aura was friendly, unlike others, so I decided to make a friend here. She looked at me through those thick glasses as I took the seat beside her. She was staring at me as if I committed a crime. "Hi, I am Ezra. Can I sit here?" Why, how can but? She got interrupted when our teacher arrived. The class went smooth, and once the period ended, my seat buddy decided to warn me. "Hi, I am Arya, but please from next time don't sit next to me. It is for your own good," she said and made her way towards the door. I stopped her by blocking her path. "But why?" Let's just say that the seat you sat on is taken. He was not here today, but if he would have been, you would have to face the worst humiliation of your life." "Oh, okay, but who is he?" "Eric Jones, the beta of the future king." With that, she was gone, leaving me in my thoughts. So the person who won the fight and was staring at me in the arena was Eric, the future beta. Well, things just got interesting. I just found a pawn in my game of revenge. In my next classes, some classmates continued to make fun of me. They would stick their leg or deliberately push me aside in the halls. But I didn't care. Well, except for the words that evil girl spoke to me. She was a beauty boy would kill each other for. But that was it. There was nothing good in her except for that. I was keeping my own business, eating my lunch, when she snatched my plate and threw it in the dustbin. "Cows like you don't need to eat. Just watch yourself in the mirror first. Dirty omegas polluting our prestigious school." I refused to meet her eyes and continued to stare at the table where once my plate was placed. Next, I know she pulled my seat, making me land on the floor. Everyone around us started laughing like crazy. I still refused to meet her eyes, and this aggravated her anger. I collected my things to leave this hellhole, but my hand stopped when I heard her next words. I bet her parents never taught her how to hold up her head and look people in their eyes. This ringed past memories in my mind, those memories which have made me flow countless tears my entire nights. Princess, never bow your head. You should stand with head held high, and your posture should speak for your position as the future queen. You should look your opponent in their eyes until they see the fire in your eyes and bow in submission. Father, I know you would be ashamed of me today, but your princess can't fight this whole world alone. I need you now. I need you to hold my hand and say that you will protect me forever. I need your strength, Dad. I need you. These thoughts made tears drop from my eyes. As the first teardrop touched the floor, I felt an unknown adrenaline rush in my blood. I felt like breaking every single thing present in the room. I felt like breaking all the laughing bones in these people's bodies so that they cannot laugh at someone again. I kicked the seat next to me, making it fall down on the floor with a thud. Everyone stopped laughing. I gave a deadly look to this wicked girl with wicked words. Seeing my bloodshot red eyes, she stopped laughing. With a last look at her, I collected my things and went out of this hellhole, just to enter another hellhole, i.e. my present pack house. No one welcomed a 6-year-old rogue, but they made me stay for their own selfish reason. That being a full-time maid Omega who would be there at their beck and call. I had no choice then. I had to accept this offer to survive, even if it came at the cost of getting no food, no room, and no respect. So here I was, a weak Omega with no special powers till now, no support, no knight in shining armor, fighting my own battle of revenge, trying to overthrow the strongest and most top-ranked werewolf, the Alpha King. The Alpha King. The next day, while cleaning, I came to know that our Alpha King will be visiting our neighboring pack. He invited all the pack members of the neighboring packs at the City Hall Center for a gathering. I, as an Omega, was not allowed to visit such gatherings, but knowing that my biggest enemy was visiting us, I just couldn't let this opportunity go by. I came up with a plan to disguise myself, so today after school I was going to attend that gathering. I just want to see one glimpse of him. I just want to see how a murderer of thousands looked like, how the destroyer of my future looked like. I know it will be very difficult considering the guards that surround him and the position he holds. But who said I couldn't give it a try? Because I know in the end it will be worth it. The next day in my history period, I sat on the same seat Arya refused me to sit on. She was trying to tell me to get up from his seat, but I decided to ignore her. Today he came, and when he entered, all chatter around died down. Everyone was looking at me and then at him. He was chatting with his group of friends when he entered, but when his eyes met mine, he became silent. I continued to unpack my books, breaking our eye contact and ignoring his presence, but he didn't want that. He placed his hand on my table to get my attention, but I still continued to ignore him. "Look at me," he ordered with power seeping through each word he spoke. My stubborn self still refused. I remember when I was a kid, Dad and Mom always used to say how stubborn I was. Old habits truly die hard, but this was no longer a habit, it was my nature now. Everyone was stunned, dreading what will happen, considering an Omega just disobeyed a beta, and not just any beta, but future Alpha King's beta. I never disobey high pack members to stay out of trouble, but with him it was different. I wanted to disobey him. I wanted to get in trouble, because I knew trouble with him will make him notice me. And for my plan, that was a good thing. I felt waves of anger radiating around me. His hand, which was placed on my table, was now enclosed in a fist, and his knuckles were turning white. I could have died with a single blow of his fist. He was that powerful, and I was that weak. But I refused to show it. Next, I know his ice-cold fingers grabbed my upper arm, jerking me up from my seat. He didn't stop there. Dragging me out of the class, through the halls, he was determined to teach me respect. All heads were turning, but as soon as they saw who he was, these heads bowed down in respect and fear. He continued to drag and embarrass me. Once we were out of the school building, he threw me harshly on the ground like a ragged doll. I dusted myself up, showing no fear. Behind me, I saw 2 hulks approaching me. They stood on each side of me as if trying to stop me if I decided to run. He grabbed my jaw so that I could look into his eyes. Weak omegas like you are like dirt on the shoes of us royals. Right now, you should rub your nose on my feet and beg for forgiveness. If not, then this pretty face of yours won't be pretty anymore. Anger surged through me on hearing this. Royalty and him? What a sick joke. Killing thousands of innocents, murdering my royal family in cold blood, and then calling themselves royal? Us royals are known for justice, truth, and fairness, and fake royals like him are only known for one thing, and that is backstabbing. I looked him in the eye with newfound confidence. He expected me to beg for forgiveness, but he got a new thing coming. I stood there with my head held high, staring directly into his eyes. And now you decide to look at me. Wow, I am amazed to see these baby blue eyes which look so shy at first, so bold right now. I generally don't ask twice, but I ask you to bow. Get down on your knees and rub your face on my feet. Never. I spoke through gritted teeth. You're bad. Guards break her legs so that she can't walk anymore. Tell her what happens when you defy royalty. With that, he was gone, leaving his guards to do all his dirty deeds. The two hulks started approaching me. I was nothing special. I couldn't even land a punch on their faces, let alone defeat them. But one thing I was exceptional at was speed. Dodging, running was the only thing I mastered in my 18 years of life, and today my speed will come in handy. I ran from there at my full speed. Instead of going outside the school, I decided to enter it. My watch said it was 11:05, which meant that more students will be there in the halls, creating more hurdles for these hulks running after me. I could hear them screaming at everyone to move aside. I wanted to look back, but I stopped myself. Looking back only slows you down, and I couldn't afford it right now. From one hall to another, one floor to another, one block to another, I continued to run, not caring if they were following me or not. I thought of stopping sometimes, but I knew if I stopped running today, I will not be able to stand, let alone walk again. I didn't stop till I reached safety. Till I reached my pack house after literally running through my entire school. I laid down on the floor to rest my legs in my room, as it didn't have a bed. But it was just wishful thinking, as the next minute someone was shouting my name to prepare the lunch. Everyone said that Beta Eric was a cold person, that he was merciless, he was rude, he was arrogant. But the thing that disturbed my mind the most was that people said he was still human, as compared to the future Alpha, who was considered a beast. If the Beta, who was considered a human, was like this, I wonder how would the Alpha beast will be like. I completed all my work early so that I could visit the gathering on time. I dressed in loose clothes and picked up a black scarf from my wardrobe to cover my face. I couldn't show my face to anyone. My face would give away my identity, and I couldn't let that happen. I secretly made my way out of the pack house. On crossing the border, I could see a large gathering. It was easy to blend in such a large crowd, and that's what I did. The temperature was near freezing point here, so everyone was covered in hats or hoods or mufflers. This made me feel safe and hidden, as my role required it. Most people were gathered around the center, which was risen on a platform. I could hear his voice, loud and clear, addressing the audience, but I couldn't see him. Hundreds of people were blocking my view. I tried jumping up and even pushed people to move forward, but all in vain. You all are under my protection, and no one can lay even a finger on you. Your king will make sure that our lands are free from all rogues and murderers, that everyone lives a happy life without fear. Today, the main reason for my visit is unity. I want to unite all the packs together to fight against all the evil in our world. So tell me, are you all with me against this fight? Everyone cheered for him like he was their god. They raised their voices together, saying, "Long live the king." Again and again. These all people were delusional. They were so blinded by his white lies that they couldn't see his ulterior motive. Some men were talking amongst themselves as I heard them. He is like a god to me. He is even better than King Aaron. During his tenure, we lived in so much fear and poverty, but since King Alger came, I forgot what poverty was like. He is no match for my father. My father did so much for these people. My entire royal bloodline was killed saving them. And these unworthy people say that this murderer, this Alger, was better than my dad? I wanted to confront them and ask them what couldn't my father give them, what wrong he did, but I restrained myself. This was not the time for this. With time, all these people will get to know the true face of this so-called King Alger. They will see his selfish intentions behind the generosity he is showing these people. I was losing my hope of seeing his face as his speech was coming to an end. I decided to move back and climb on something higher, my eyes landing on a window panes with grills on them. I grabbed the grill and lifted my body up. Winds passed through me, making me quiver in cold. A little higher. Placing my feet on the grill, I turned around to see. The king's crown was visible. The winds were stronger now. I lifted my foot to stand on my toes. The scalf untied because of the winds and blocked my view. I moved my head to get it out of my face as my hands were still holding the grill. I caught a glimpse of his face, and the thing that caught my attention was the scar that covered his cheek. It started from his eye and ended near his mouth. It looked scary, akin to the aura he was emitting. This was only for a few seconds because I heard someone shouting, "Hey, you! Get down! What are you doing there?" I looked down and a gasp left my lips. Those two hunks that tried to break my legs earlier were standing there looking up at me. But that was not it. The worst part was that my scalp was now hanging around my neck and my face was on full display. Their eyes widened when they recognized me, and that was when a curse left my lips. "Shh, man. Shh. Shh." In a panic, my hands left the grill and I lost my balance, making me land straight on the floor. My whole body screamed in pain because of the impact. Without giving it much thought, I got up and started to run when I saw them follow me. My body was protesting me to stop, but I just couldn't. While running, I managed to hide my face with my scarf in such a way that my entire head and face were covered, except my baby blue eyes. They were still following me, not ready to lose me this time. My legs were losing their strength. No, not now. My speed slowed down and I could feel them catching up on me. My heartbeat was skyrocketing, making me take in large breaths to even my racing heart. Suddenly, I saw something large block my view. My shaking legs couldn't dodge it on time, and next I know I had a whole body collision with it. I closed my eyes, fearing mind-numbing pain, but it didn't come. Instead, I felt like floating in the air as my toes were still touching the ground. Something strong was there on my waist, breaking my fall. I opened my eyes to see hazel brown eyes staring at me. I have seen many people with hazel eyes before, but his eyes were very different from them. It was like there was a blend of all the colors in his eyes, and with the last sun rays falling on his eyes, I could see green, blue, yellow, brown, all colors mixed into one. I was so transfixed by his eyes that I didn't notice his face. A face like his could be considered the most beautiful face on this earth. With sharp nose, perfect cut-shaped jawline, eagle eyes, he was an epitome of perfection. I couldn't find a single flaw in him, even if I wanted to. "What are you doing? This is not the time for this, damn it." I scolded myself. From my side view, I saw the two hulks stand beside us. I started to panic as I could see them breaking my bones now. They started speaking, but the Greek god holding me showed them his hand without leaving his eye contact with my eyes, signaling them to stop. And to my surprise, they did stop. He signaled them with a flick of his two fingers, and they turned back and left. His other hand still continued to hold my waist in a tight grip, not willing to let go. I was feeling really uncomfortable in such a position, but at the same time, it felt good to be held so securely by someone after so many years. I looked back into his eyes again to see him still staring at my blue ones. He couldn't see anything except my eyes because of my scarf covering my face. His other hand went under my head to support it. We continued to look into each other's eyes, lost, when I felt his fingers trying to open the knot of my scarf. At that moment, I realized what I was doing. I was getting distracted from my mission. I pushed myself away from him, making him lose his grip on me. I stumbled back but managed to stand on my feet. But then I felt something which made me weak on my knees and goosebumps to appear on my body. I felt his aura, his extraordinary power. My eyes widened feeling it, and I was a bit scared of the extent of his power. His eyes held pain when I stepped back from him. It looked like he never wanted to let go. He didn't want me to leave. but I had to. He moved his hand ahead to catch me if I fall, but I continued to step back. I didn't need safety. I managed all these years without it. I don't need it now. I can't trust anyone except myself. I can't love anyone except myself. With each thought, I continued to step farther away from him, away from the man who could show me daydreams in my world of nightmares. Electric blue was the color of her eyes. Innocence and fear was evident in them. Longer I stared into them, the deeper I fell into their depth of Mariana Trench. Blue was not my favorite color, but it just took one look to change it from then. Love was not experienced by me before, but those eyes forced me to fall deeply and madly in love with them. Her purity was a curse to my evil eyes, who were blinded by the light of goodness in them. Yes, I was evil. Evil like a deadly beast who killed for content. Evil like a villain who ordered the death of innocence. But for her, I wanted to be a hero who will save his heroine in distress. I just know one thing, that those eyes were holding me captive, and I was willing to be captivated forever in them. They were the most beautiful in the world, as I saw my soulmate in them. Ezra's Pav. It was 4 a.m. and still my eyes had no sleep. I was trying, but those hazel eyes kept staring at me whenever I closed my eyes. The adoration, beauty, promises those eyes had made my nights sleepless and my days restless. I tried to forget them. I tried, but my subconscious mind kept replaying them. I was still 17. There can be a possibility that he is my mate. But this thought made matters worse. His aura screamed power, and powerful wolves are more possessive than others. They are more dominating and demanding. They consider them superiors and bound their mates in restrictions. And I don't follow restrictions. I break them with the first opportunity I get, especially when they block my plan, my mission, my goal in life. His hands showed me what safety felt like. His eyes showed me what adoration felt like. And I know he can show me what love meant like. But the question here is, can I forget what happened with my family? Can I forget the revenge for which I planned my entire life? Can I be selfish for once? My answer is no, I can't. Those screams of innocence will not leave my mind unless I give them peace. Multiple sleepless nights later, I decided to go to school. I was taking out my books from my locker when I felt like someone was watching me. I turned around and my eyes met with Eric's. He was talking to a girl, but his eyes were set on me. I closed my locker and turned to leave when he blocked my path. His face was neutral. There was something going on in his mind which I couldn't put my finger on. He was a complex personality. Understanding him was difficult, and this scared me a bit. See that day Shh. He stopped me. Only speak when I ask you to and acknowledge me with some respect. I am not your childhood buddy. I looked down and nodded, showing that I didn't want to disrespect him. Which pack are you from? Silver Cross, sir. Name and position? Ezra, an Omega, sir. Ezra learned to respect us or else you might end 6 feet deep down. Yesterday you managed to dodge my guards. I was impressed by it. So consider this your last warning. You may not get so lucky next time. Now go, but as a punishment, you will be at my beck and call for next few days. Serve me and pay for your disrespect. Got it? Yes, sir. Okay, then get started. Go get my schedule from the office. Bloody basket. Ordering me as if I am his servant. But I can't do anything right now. If I want to live here, I need to do this. The entire day I was running from one place to another. Right now, I was standing with his lunch tray while he was chatting with his girlfriends. One of them was that blonde beauty who bullied me on my first day here. Poor girl, just look at her. I bet even beggars look better than her. Dawn, you feel disgusted when you look at yourself in the mirror? Everyone was laughing while my grip on the tray tightened, trying to bear with her. Eric had a wide smile on his face. He made me his servant so that he could humiliate me further. He wanted to show me my status. I stood silently in this crowd of unknown people, getting humiliated and made fun of. I just like every girl dreamed of a fairy tale. I also wanted a knight in shining armor to come and save me. I also wanted my Prince Charming. We all want it deep in our hearts, even if we deny it. But you know, these false expectations hurt us the most in the end, when we don't find one hand to help us, but 100 hands to push us down. When we don't find a person who holds us and says, I love you, but find hundreds who point fingers at us and say, we hate you. when we unconditional love others and only get reprimanded in return. When our hero turns villain, then it breaks our heart. But remember, expectation from others can hurt you, while expectation from yourself can make you love yourself. Don't find someone who will love you. First, love yourself so others can love you. Don't look for a hero when you yourself can be your own savior. I also wish right now that those hazel eyes look at me, those firm hands support me, that deep, powerful voice speaks up for me and protect me from the harsh words of these people. But I also know this is just wishful thinking. Eric, you could find a much better servant than her. She doesn't even deserve to serve royalty like you. If you say I could serve you in much better ways than her, she says, running her hands down his arms seductively. Disgusted, that's what I felt on seeing her. How desperate can they be? I hate girls like her who serve their self-respect on a platter to royals like him. Sure, I was brought up in poverty, with pennies in my pockets and serving trays in my hands, but never ever have I degraded this low to gain the attention of someone or to get money. I always managed with the little I have, the little I saved while working in a cafe nearby. And I would never stoop so low, no matter who worse my situation is. I would never do such a thing to get someone's attention or money. She had everything I didn't. Riches, beauty, figure, but she lacked one thing that every girl should have: self-respect. Kylie, babe, don't worry, she is not serving me. I am just training her how to treat us with respect. Her punishment will be served, but not from my hands, but by the hands of Xavier King. Everyone around looked as shocked as I was. When Kylie asked Eric to clear all doubts, Xavier Black, as in the Xavier Black, is he coming here? Yes, he is joining tomorrow. Girls started shouting like crazy, but I was oblivious. My blood went cold on hearing this news. No, he can't be here. No. My plans will be ruined with his arrival. Xavier Black, son of Black, with looks of a Greek god, but deeds as evil as the devil. He was known to kill without mercy. Cries of pain thrilled him, while cries of mercy irritated him. He didn't trust anyone except himself. He didn't love anyone except himself. He had no enemies, as no one dared to get on his bad side. He had no friends, as no one dared to joke with him. He was the most powerful wolf who trained each day of his life to reach where he is today. People adored him not for his position, but for his strength. He was a merciless beast, with no heart, no emotions, and no mercy. Girls wished to be his mate, but he ignored them with hate. Girls cried for his attention, but he only used them like tissues to be dumped as waste. He was the only person I was scared of. He was more deadly and powerful than his father. My revenge plan was going smooth, till this news made it go haywire. Xavier King was the only obstacle to my path. Eric was staring at my scared face with a smirk on his lips. He knew I was afraid of Xavier, and he was enjoying this. He made his way towards me and whispered in my ear, "Your punishment has not even started yet. Xavier will teach you a lesson not to mess with his family, especially his dear friend. He will break you into so many pieces that you will be a broken soul disliked by all. Get ready, Cupcake, because from tomorrow onwards, each day of yours will resemble hell." With this, he was gone, leaving me afraid for the first time after so long. Everyone around me was cheering on his arrival, whereas I was dreading the day I decided to disrespect Eric to get on the bad side of not only him, but also my future Alpha King. Now only time will tell. Next day. Today, there was a different atmosphere in the school. Girls were dolling up with makeup, some were literally jumping with excitement, some were even pulling up their skirts' waist to show off their long legs. Boys were gossiping about him, warning each other not to mess with him, to respect him. Not only students, but even teachers were excited about his arrival. It looked like a king was arriving, which was true, as Xavier King was our future king. Our first period started and I felt relaxed knowing that he hasn't arrived yet. But this was very short-lived. The next second, Eric entered the room. His next words made everyone stand up on their feet in attention position. "He is here!" The teacher herself stood up and bowed down to him while he was standing outside the door. "Your Majesty, my greetings. Please do enter." Before he entered, his aura gave away his presence. It was a dangerous and powerful one, which made everyone bow down their heads except me. I was preoccupied with something else. I was trying to recognize this aura. I was sure I had felt its dominance before, but where? I got my answer when he stepped in the classroom and my eyes linked with those hazel ones. But this time his eyes had something else. The eyes which earlier held admiration and love were now giving me a deadly look of hate and disgust. I looked around to see that everyone bowed in respect for him, while I was disrespecting him by staring at him. My eyes looked down to show respect, but it was too late already. Everyone was astounded to see me disrespect him so openly. It was a mistake. I didn't intend to disrespect him, but it just happened. I could feel his angry glare on me, and right then I wished the ground could swallow me. To make matters worse, I heard Eric whispering something in his ear, and I already knew what it was. He just signed my death certificate by telling him that I even disrespected Eric before. "Everyone take your seats." I heard that beautiful voice speak with authority. My trembling legs were going to sit down like everyone, but his next words made me still. "Except you." I closed my eyes thinking that maybe he was telling someone else. But when Eric called my name, my worst fear came true. I lifted my eyes a bit to see him making his way towards me. My hands were turning cold, and heart was beating beyond its normal rate with each step he took towards me. When he neared my table, his voice made me jump up in fear. "Move," he said in a low, deadly voice, making my face lose its color. I hurriedly stepped aside. He sat on my seat and with a swift movement of his arm threw all my belongings on the floor. Without thinking, I sat down to collect my things. I was picking up my pencil box when he placed his foot on my hand. I muffled a scream that escaped my lips. He continued to apply pressure while I refused to make a sound. Everyone was looking at us, but no one could do anything other than watch this show. I didn't want to show him that I am weak by crying with pain and begging for forgiveness, so I endured with it. This continued till involuntarily teardrops escaped my eyes and landed on his polished black boots. There was no stop to them, as they landed one by one. He was the same man who held me so protectively that day, the man who gave me hope, the one who saved me. Then why was he behaving like this today? Maybe he didn't identify me. How could he? He only saw my eyes that day. When my pain got numb and I couldn't feel my hand anymore, he lifted his foot. I couldn't even move my fingers. The pain was increasing with every muscle I moved. "Learn to bow next time," was his simple warning, but we all knew the depth of his threat. I lifted myself up, and during the whole class, I was ordered to stand by his side with a swollen hand and teary eyes. The class ended, and everyone waited for his exit. He stood to his full height, towering over me. He left without even looking at me. I thought he would leave me for today, but little did I know that our next meeting will make me lose the only thing I had. My self-respect. Xavier Black's POV. Fear. The only feeling I want everyone to have for me. You can call me a sadist because I truly like to cause people pain. This brings a kind of satisfaction to me, and now I am addicted to it. Those who face my wrath curse me from the depths of their heart, but it doesn't matter to me. Their words are nothing when I know that my birth itself was a curse. I was not meant to be born. My birth itself was a curse which made me lose my mother. She was supposed to live while I should have died in her womb, but when Moon Goddess controls your arrival and demise, we are just puppets in her hands. It's not that my father doesn't love me. No, instead, he is the only one who truly loves me. But when I see him hold my mother's picture and cry for hours, I can't help but hate myself for his pain. Others hate me, and I don't have a problem with that, because I also hate myself. But those beautiful blue eyes of my mate can't hate me. I will not let them hate me. I need her more than anything since the day I first saw her innocent blue eyes looking at me. It was truly love at first sight, as cliché it sounds, but this is true. I was spellbound on seeing them. That was the first time I thought that Moon Goddess doesn't really curse me as she mated me with her. But before I could see her face and mark her as mine, she left, just like the way she came. I could see her taking small steps away from me. Her eyes held worry and fear, while mine held love and care. Distance between us continued to increase, and my only hope of having a mate continued to decrease. I was too late. She vanished before I could hold my angel again, leaving me devastated with those blue eyes as the only trail. She had no scent, which was rare. I didn't even feel those sparks which people say are felt on touching. The only evidence which proved that she was my mate were those electric blue eyes which were rarest of rare. I searched for her like a madman. My majority of forces were assigned to search her, to search those electric blue eyes. But it was as impossible as it sounded. I had lost my only hope in life. I lost my mate. Days passed, her eyes still invaded my dreams. Her touch could still be sensed by me. But that was all. She was gone. I entered Rosewood School to continue my training. When I entered, everyone bowed on recognizing me. All the sounds died wherever I went. This was the fear I was talking about. And it really felt good. My beta Eric made his way towards me. Other than Dad, he was the only one who feared me but still loved me, and I also trusted him blindly. But trust comes when you know a person since birth, and he has never ever deceived you in any way. As we entered my first class, everyone was standing looking down in respect and fear, except one. That black-haired girl was looking at me with a shocked look on her face. She was so lost that she forgot to acknowledge my presence and look down in respect. Her stare did not show defiance, but dilemma. Her scent was weak, so weak that I couldn't smell it among these powerful auras. She was a nobody based on her looks, aura, and power. But I was still fascinated by her, more like intrigued. She soon realized her disobedience, but it was too late. Accusing eyes were looking at her, and she refused to meet them. "She is the one I told you about," Eric whispered in my ear. My eyes analyzed her. Slouching posture showing lack of confidence, thin buildup showing her lack of strength, and lastly, hyperactive movement of her hands showing nervousness. I couldn't believe she defied Eric before. He told me about her. Just because she was a girl, he didn't kill her. We all may be monsters, but we don't harm women and children unless necessary. Eric lacked self-control, unlike me, and dealing with a defiant girl like her and teaching her how to respect royals required a lot of self-control, not to kill her. Girls usually throw themselves at me. Many have tried to change me, to teach me how to love, but in the end, I leave them broken, just like me. They forget that I am a monster who has no heart, but could crush thousands of hearts without an ounce of remorse. But she was different. Right now, she is showing submission, but is capable of being defiant as well. I would love to see her defiant so that I could break it down. She excited me just like a new toy excites a child, and I wanted to play with it till it gets broken to be discarded into a bin. Eric smirked, knowing completely well what was going on in my mind. He knew I will have fun breaking her. I made my way towards her. She closed her eyes, but I hated it. I wanted to see fear in them, which she was trying to hide. Move. A single command made her jerk back with trembling legs. I wanted to laugh, seeing her scared as but I controlled myself. I normally don't associate myself with lowlives like her, but for a change, I wanted to have some fun, making her beg for forgiveness. I threw all the things next to her, and she instantly started picking them up. Nah, this was no fun. I placed my heel on her hand, making her freeze at her spot. She made no sound, unlike others who would have shouted, "Ouch!" 100 times by now. She was good at hiding her pain, and I just liked my toy a lot more because of this. Her teardrops landed on my polished shoes. I felt a bit bad, just a bit, but I was surprised, because I never felt bad. Hell, I never felt bad after stepping on a pool of blood I created, but felt bad for a few teardrops of her. This was not good. I increased the pressure on her hand, and her teardrops increased. Silence stayed, but her drops of pain flowed continuously. After I felt content, I lifted my foot. Before I could see the condition of her hand, she stood up and covered her hand with the other hand. During the entire class, she stood next to me while everyone was sitting. They kept turning around to see her, but when their eyes met mine, they would turn front again and continue to do their work. She was feeling embarrassed, and I wanted her to feel it. This was just the beginning, and I knew I would enjoy playing with her emotions. When class ended, I stood up to leave, but not before giving her advice. Learn to bow next time. I didn't even look at her to see her reaction. Instead, I just walked past her out of the class. Zav, she is defiant, I am telling you. Eric, you saw her. She was so scared. I don't think she is capable of even speaking to me, let alone defy me. Okay, then let's provoke her to see. Eric, do whatever you want to. I am busy right now. Okay, but please come to the canteen in the lunchtime to see the show. I ignored him and continued my work. After completing my work, I went towards the canteen to get something to eat. As I entered, I saw a circle of students gathered around something, rather someone. They saw me and cleared the way for me. What I saw was unexpected. Eric was enraged with anger. His aura had a deadly vibe to it, and his eyes were fixed on his target, which was struggling to break free. Eric's hand was squeezing her tender neck, leaving huge red marks on it and breaking her air supply. She was struggling under his grip. She was desperate for release, as desperate as a goldfish in a leaking bag, but her strength was of no match. Eric lost his temper just like usual, and I knew if I didn't stop him now he will end up killing her. Eric. The strength of my command made him look at me. Leave her. Now. He instantly followed my command, making her small body land on the ground with a thud. She held her neck, trying to soothe herself while coughing continuously. My eyes met Eric's, and he looked down ashamed that he again couldn't control his temper. I have scolded him multiple times to control his temper before, but he fails again and again. This time, he knew his failure will have consequences. I stepped near him and continued to stare at him, but he refused to meet my eyes. Alpha, she, disrespected King Alger. I couldn't hear her disrespect Uncle like this. I was calm till now, but hearing this new information, my blood started boiling. My dad is the only person I respect the most in my life, and if this girl disrespected him, she will regret the day she was born. I turned around and made my way towards her. She was laying at my feet, struggling to get up. I pulled her up from her arm harshly, making her look into my angry hazel ones. What did you say? She was furious. I could feel it. Eric actually provoked her, but she was stupid enough to get provoked and influenced. Now she was showing defiance. Her eyes were staring at me with a newfound confidence. That kind of confidence when you know you are right. The truth, she said with coldness in her voice. Her voice was strong, unlike her physique, and for a second I admired her bravery. Speak up this truth. Speak up! My voice boomed in the canteen, making everyone step back in fear. But she stood her ground. The same truth that everyone has forgotten over years. The truth which is veiled by your lies. The truth that your king is nothing but a backstabbing killer of innocents. Murderer of thousands. A sick man who destroyed an entire kingdom to build his own. And you all are no better. You royals deserve to burn in hell for all the things you did. Right now, it's your time. Play your games, but remember when times of karma come and tables turn, you will beg for mercy. You all will beg, but you won't get it. Your king will die. Before she could complete her sentence, my anger acted for me. I slapped her so hard that her body collapsed and her head hit the ground. I have never slapped a girl, but this girl made me lose my morals. How dare she say something like this? How dare she disrespect my dad in front of so many people? My father meant the world to me, and I will destroy her for this. I held her hair in my hand and pulled them back harshly, making her hiss in pain. I was lenient because you are a girl, but the things you said will make me do things I never did to a girl before. Tears were flowing down her cheeks, but her defiant eyes refused to lower down and submit. This was acting as a fuel to the fire burning inside me. I grabbed her chin and pressed her jaw hard. My strength was not under my control now. I wanted her to beg for mercy, but she was far away from it. I continued to apply more pressure to reach her breaking point. I did reach the breaking point, but not of her will. I heard a cracking sound and realized that her jaw was broken. Blood flowed out of her mouth. What she did next made me loose the little patience I was holding on to. She spit the blood on my face. Everyone around gasped in shock, admiring her bravery and pitying her. Death. I couldn't control my actions anymore. It was now a fight to dominate, a fight of defiance, her attempts to defy me and my attempts to break her. If I kill her right now, she will happily accept it. But death doesn't come easily to those who go against me. I will build her up to break her again, and this will continue till my heart reaches content, or there is nothing left of her, whichever is early. I dragged her from her hair till we reached the forest adjoining the school. I ordered to tie her with the tree bark with silver chains. You will not be released unless you beg for forgiveness. No food, water, or any kind of help is to be given to her. Whosoever helps her will face the same fate as her. Until she begs, she will remain tied here. I know with time she will break. The defiance in her eyes will be worn out soon when the fear of death enters her mind. Let's see how long it takes for her to break. Ezra's POV. Seconds turned into minutes, minutes turned into hours. The visibility of the day was followed by the horrifying darkness of night. Everyone left hours ago, not daring to help me by going against the Alpha King's son's order. My lips were getting cracks from dryness, forcing me to moisten them with my tongue again and again. My arms, which were tied behind me around the bark, were now numb with pain and rigidity. I closes my eyes to escape from this harsh reality. When a person gets caught in a hopeless scenario as mine, one usually thinks of the happy memories one has, those smiling faces cross their minds, those giggles enter their ears, and memories of those who love him give him strength. But in my case, those little happy times I had in my 17 years of life were eclipsed by the horrors I faced. I was too young to remember those happy memories I spent with my family. I try to remember the faces of those who brought me into this world, but with time I feel like my memory of their faces is getting blurred away. I can only remember those black eyes of my mom when she used to look at me like they were seeing their world in my eyes. I remember that smiling face of my dad when I used to climb on his back and demand a piggy ride to my room. But other than few other good memories, everything else has faded away, except the bad ones. Those blood-curdling screams, those flowing pools of blood, those begging cries still evade my memory like they happened yesterday only. Those memories were worse than my present, so I opened my eyes to enjoy this peace. Silence surrounds me, just like the darkness which envelops this no-moon night. Not even a single soul is present within 20 miles radius, and I am all alone just like always. My legs are giving out with every passing second, just like my strength to hold on. It's like energy has left my body, forcing me to close my eyes and go to sleep. This thought was appealing but deadly as well. Who knows if I will see tomorrow's daylight? I was fighting against sleep, which according to me was tougher than killing a person. A low growl entered my ears, forcing me to look around in high alert. Maybe my condition was making me a prey to hallucinations because I could not see anyone around me. I relaxed, realizing that no sane person would be here at 4 o'clock at night. But my relief was short-lived as I heard another growl. I looked ahead to see shining eyes staring at me. But that was not all. Nearly 10 similar eyes were staring at me as a prey, which was prepared just for them. I gulped, realizing that today there is no escape. These rogues are insane, and within minutes my body will be shredded into pieces. Hungry growls were breaking the silence of the forest and making me struggle in the constraining chains. Help! Someone! Please, help me! Help! My screams were getting louder and desperate as my predators stepped towards me. Please, say! LPPPP. This was the most I could do. My screams died down just like my hope of survival. I closes my eyes among those roars of thirst for blood to see those black eyes of my mom staring at me and her lips repeating those words which she once said to me. Ezra, my child, remember that. Even if I am not with you to protect you, still you are strong enough to protect yourself. Just never stop fighting. Tears were escaping my eyes as I was fighting with myself. Fighting against the chains to break free. My heartbeat was not normal. It was so fast that even a wolf would have a slower beating rate. Then it happened. They attacked. I screamed till my lungs could supply me with the air. I felt the weight of one wolf's collision, but I was surprised to see him fall back with an equal thrust. He laid on the ground, his body shaking just like he has been electrocuted. The other wolves were as surprised as me. What the hell did happen? I looked down to see something I have never ever seen before. The chains which were binding me were now glowing. Blue lights like currents were flowing through the chains all around me. But it felt like all my remaining energy has been sucked from within me. My eyes were closing, and I could see those blue lights disappearing. Soon those beautiful lights disappeared, and my eyes closed down with the fear of never waking up again. Xavier Black's POV. I was doing my regular workout. Sweat was dripping like water from my forehead as I did my push-ups. 9999, 1000, 1001. My face was facing the mirror in front of me, where I was watching my muscles flex with my every movement. I was angry, and I had to release it one way or the other. That defiant girl was the reason. I slapped her. Damn it! I slapped a girl! How could I? A real man never raises his hand on a girl. I moved on to the punching box and continued to hit it with full force. My actions got controlled by my emotions, and I hated it when I lose control. My knuckles were turning red, but I did not care. I had to punish myself, and this was nothing. Next, I heard Chris enter the room. Exercise at this time? Xavman, are you all right? I didn't pay heed to what he was saying. That girl's face kept coming in front of my eyes. Her anger, her attitude, her actions were all affecting me in a way no one ever affected me before. I could see blood coming out of her luscious pink lips when I broke her jaw, and still her defiance didn't break. No one ever looked at me like the way she did. A loud sound was heard. The sandbag I was hitting has fallen down on the ground and has broken from its chains. Sav, what are you doing? Chris came towards me and held my hand from which blood was dripping, but I didn't care. Sav, calm down. What happened? I ignored him, and instead I left. I ran towards the forest to release the beast inside of me, who was as angry as I was. My wolf was a golden wolf with hazel eyes. He is rare. It is said only 0.02% of wolves ever known were golden, and I am very proud to be one. My speed increased as I crossed my pack's boundary. My wolf was guiding me directions as I was giving him permission. When we were on our way back, I heard a loud scream. The scream came from the direction of our school, and this made my heart drop. The only person over there was her, and an unknown fear entered my mind on realizing this. I reached the location within minutes, but what I saw made me regret my decision of punishing her in this way. There she was tied helplessly to the tree. Her small body was laying limp against the chains, while her eyes were closed in defeat. Her arm was bleeding profusely from a bite wound, and one of her thighs was within the jaws of a filthy rogue wolf. Around 9 other wolves were surrounding her, ready to feed on her. Without wasting a second, I tore that wolf away from her and threw him on the other wolves behind. They cried in pain, but I was not satisfied. I killed each one of them one by one in the most painful way by breaking their limbs one by one. On seeing their dead bodies, my anger subdued. I regained my senses and went towards the girl who was laying there unconscious. I broke the chains binding her, resulting in her small body falling into my arms. I assessed the damage to see that her dress was torn at many pieces and a deep gash on her thigh was loosing a lot of blood. I tore my shirt and tied it around her wound to stop infection from spreading. She hissed in pain. I lifted her up into my arms bridal style. While I was making my way to the pack house, I looked down to see her forehead creased in pain. But next, the unexpected happened. She opened her eyes and looked at me. At the time of dusk, the first rays of sunlight fell into her eyes, and I found myself staring at those electric blue eyes which have been evading my sleep multiple times. Those beautiful eyes which I remembered from the day I first saw them looking at me under the last rays of dusk. I was holding her, just like that day we met for the first time, and this made my insides scream in happiness. I found her. I found my mate. But this happiness was short-lived when I saw those captivating electric blue eyes closing on me. Her breathing was getting ragged and my heart was sinking with every breath she was taking. That was all what it took for me to run to my pack at supernatural speed and to bark orders at the doctors and healers to do just one thing: to save my mate. The biggest fear a child has is of getting lost and losing his parents. I experienced it at a very young age of 6 when my world collided with his. Flashback. The thunder was striking and the swords were clashing. Mama was holding me tightly in her arms, shielding my eyes from the inhuman acts going on around me. Screams of pain around me were making me fear only one thing: death. Not mine. No, I didn't care for myself as much as I cared for them. They were my life. And without them, I was no one. They were my mama and daddy, and I feared their death. Ezra, baby, go with Uncle Dan. I will meet you in a few minutes at our favorite's place, okay? She said, looking into my blue eyes. I refused to leave her, still clinging on to her, not releasing my grip. No, Mama, please take me with you. Mama loves you, sweetie, and I will never leave you. I promise I will meet you there. Please don't be stubborn. You have to go. No, Mama, please. Ezra, I need to help your daddy. Please just go. She kissed my teary eyes and handed me over to Uncle Dan. I love you, sweetie, and no matter what happens today, we will always be there to protect you. We both will always love you. With this, Uncle Dan took me away from Mama, who turned around to fight with Daddy against evil. It was raining cats and dogs. We both were drenched from head to toe, but Uncle still refused to stop. Uncle Danny, we need to go back. They need us. Please stop. Ezra, we need to reach. Uncle was looking at something in front of him. I lifted my face from his chest to look at what he was seeing. There in front stood 7 people with scary faces and swords covered in blood. Uncle Dan placed me down and shielded me behind him. Stay put. He went forward to fight, but when I saw swords tearing his skin and his body landing on the ground, my legs started moving back automatically. Ezra, run! I turned back and started running towards Mama and Daddy. Tears were streaming down my cheeks continuously as my tiny legs were running, seeking safety. I could see those bad people with sword following me. The heavy rain was making it difficult to look ahead, but I continued. When my legs could no longer hold my weight, I found shelter in a tree bark. My small body managed to fit inside it. My quivering body and clittering teeth were unstoppable. With each passing second, I was losing my strength. Happy faces of Mama and Daddy were the only things which were making me to hold on. Few minutes more, Ezra. Just hold on. I don't remember when I lost conscious. When I woke up, I was met with silence. Thunder has stopped, and it seemed to be as peaceful as the day started. But I knew it will never be the same. I came out from my hideout and started going towards our favorite place where Mama asked me to meet her. I knew the way. It was just a mile's walk from here. I reached my destination to see her, but was met with nothing. This beautiful lake was our meeting point and my favorite place. Mama promised me she will never leave me. She never broke her promise. Where is she? I looked around desperately, but with each passing second, my hope was dying. Soon I found myself leaning against a tree bark, breaking down into a sobbing mess. Hey, you. I looked up on hearing a voice. There stood a boy with hazel eyes and brown hair staring at me. In his hand was a small sword, which he was pointing at me. My teary red eyes met his hazel ones, which were staring at me with anger. Mama, she. I couldn't form a word with his angry eyes staring at me and that sharp sword pointing at me. He pulled down his sword and took dangerous steps towards me. I backed up only to press myself more against the bark. Pull, ease, don't, kill. He suddenly grabbed my chin in his soft hands and tilted it up so that I was again staring at his hazel ones. What he said next left me astounded. You are beautiful. I felt his soft hands caressing my cheeks and wiping the teardrops staining them. Slowly his hand moved towards my neck, and this made me shiver in fear. I closed my eyes, fearing my death. All of a sudden, his hand's movement stilled. I opened my eyes to see his gaze fixed on something. When I followed his gaze, I was met with the thunder sign on my right chest. His fingers started tracing my sign, and his touch left a foreign feeling on my body. I was feeling something I never felt before. It was making me weak and dependent on him. I was lost in his touch when my mother's words reached my ears. Never let anyone see it. You are to hide it from everyone. What was I doing? I pushed him back with full force left in me. He fell on the ground. I turned to run, but was met with 4 big men. They grabbed my tiny body. Leave her. The same boy ordered, and to my surprise, the big men released me. But master, we can't leave her. We were ordered to kill everyone. The boy came towards me and helped me to get up. He placed me behind him, shielding me from these men. Don't inform him about her. But, are you questioning you, master? Don't tell me what to do and what not to. They were talking, and I found this as an opportunity to escape. I silently moved away from them. After reaching some distance, I ran at full speed towards the forest. I ran towards my pack house, but what I saw there left me sleepless for many years of my life. Blood was everywhere. The people I once knew were lying there on the ground covered with blood. I could no longer see this. No. Mama? Daddy? Where are you? This is a nightmare. No, this can't be true. I started retreating back. My foot slipped on something and I fell down. My favorite pink frock, which Daddy gifted me, was now covered in blood of our pack members. My hands were now red with blood. I placed my hands on the ground to lift myself up, but I felt something under my hand. I lifted my hand to see the necklace my mom used to wear. It was covered in blood, and the stone heart in its center was no longer blue, but red. My heart sank in depths of pain and sadness, and I screamed, "Mommy!" Flashback over. I jerked up from my sleep to see that I was lying in a room. Beads of sweat were glistering on my forehead. I gulped a glass of water lying on the side table. I looked down to see my leg and arm bandaged up and Ive attached on my wrist. Then I remembered what happened that night. Those rogues attacking me, then me fainting, and last those hazel eyes staring at me. The Xavier Knight saved me. I can't believe this. He made sure he hated me, then why did he save me? Unless he knew I was his mate. Oh I need to leave. I pulled out the Ive. Before I could lift myself up, his angry voice made me stop all my movement. Are you mad? What the hell are you doing? I am leaving. No, you are not. He pushed back my shoulders, making me fall back on the bed. See, Alf. Xavier? You can call me Xavier. Why? As far as I know, everyone else calls you Alpha or Alpha King. He was acting different. I am sure he has discovered my identity. His next words confirmed my doubts. Because you are not everyone, and I want to hear my name from your beautiful lips. What do you mean? I asked, refusing to meet his intense stare. He took few steps towards me, and I could feel his heavy aura dominating me. I felt his breath on my face. I mean that I want to hear my name from my mate's lips. His eyes were fixed on my lips, which were making me extremely uncomfortable. My lips were trembling with his close proximity. Don't fear me, Ezra. When I am with you, don't fear anything. I can't acknowledge him as my mate. It will ruin my plans. I am not your mate. He smirked and moved back from me. I must say you are a really disobedient girl, Ezra. First you try to hide from your mate, then you disrespect him in front of everyone, and now you are refusing his claim. Your disobedience will not be tolerated from now on. I can love you more than any mate has ever loved his mate, but if you forget your place and go against me, I will not think before teaching you a lesson. Controlling beast. Who does he think he is? He again came towards me, but this time I was prepared to push him back. He placed his lips on my earlobe and whispered, "Say my name, Ezra." I could feel heat radiate from me. I was blushing like crazy. I have never been so close to a male before, and he was breaking all my records. My heart was audible to me, my words lost in nervousness. I can't. He again whispered, leaving his hot breath on my neck. My name. I don't know how, but before my mind could refuse, my lips already betrayed me. Xavier. As soon as I said his name, a smile came on his lips and he moved back from me, making me take a deep breath, which I was holding for long. Good work, mate, he said with a victorious smirk on his handsome face. I shouted at him with all anger I could muster. I hate you, and I don't give a shit if you are my mate or not. Too bad, love, because from now on you are stuck with me forever. With this, he was gone, leaving me shouting profanities at him. I was not normal. I realized this till now. Those blue lights I saw around me emanating from my body were far from normal. There was something about me which even I didn't know, and this was scaring me. Am I ill? Am I even a wolf? Or am I just a human? I was standing in front of the mirror, staring at the thunder birthmark on my chest. Mom asked me to hide it from everyone, but she never told me why. The mark I bared was never heard of before. No one was ever born with special marks. Then why was I? Was I a freak of nature? I looked at my face in the mirror to see blue eyes staring back at me. Blue just like the cloud of light that surrounded me in the forest that day. I closed my eyes, remembering the day. Moon goddess, what am I? Please tell me. I was so lost in my thoughts that I didn't hear someone else enter the room. Only when warm hands engulfed me from behind and his strong cologne entered my sense receptors, I opened my eyes to see his hazel ones staring at me in the mirror. He was towering over me with his 6'2" frame, and I felt trapped under him. I could feel his breath on my neck from behind, and this made me weak on my knees. His hands on my waist kept me steady, and my body was relying on him for support. He was analyzing the territory he will be marking. the skin which will be bearing his royal mark of Xavier King. I felt extremely uncomfortable. This is not what I want, but every muscle in my body is contradicting me, asking me to lean closer to him, to rely on him to feel his touch. I try to loosen his grip on my waist, but my strength was no match to his. Instead, his grip on my waist tightened and my back was pushed back against his chest. Pull. Ease. My voice was as desperate as my attempts to move away from him. Never. His voice was as strong and firm as his grip on me. He placed soft kisses on my neck, making me close my eyes. My body was enjoying his touch, and there was no doubt left that he was my true mate. "You are different," he said, making me open up my eyes to stare at his face in the mirror. No scent, no sparks, no healing power, and no wolf. I was shocked to hear this. No one was able to find out till now that I didn't have a wolf. I used to lie to everyone saying my wolf is weak, so I don't have a scent, and they all believed it, but he didn't. I didn't even tell him my lies, and he already knew the truth. Ezra Wilson, an Omega in Silver Cross pack since 6 years of age, wolf never seen, strength never displayed, and parents not known. His head lifted from my neck, and he stared at me through the mirror. "Who are you, Ezra?" How am I supposed to tell him my deepest secrets when I can't trust him with them? How can I tell him that I am the daughter of that king on whose seat his father is sitting? That I am that girl whose family was killed in cold blood by his father? That I am Aleka Grey Alistair, the true queen to the throne to which he will be coronated? I don't know what you. He turned me around to look into my eyes. "Don't you dare lie to me, Ezra," he said, trying to control his anger. "I am not," I said, refusing to look into his eyes. "You can lie to me as many times as you want, but each time you lie, remember you can't fool me. I don't care if you are strong or not, because I am strong enough for both of us. You will be my Luna. But as my Luna, I need to know your bloodline, the bloodline our pups will carry." He can't be serious. Our pups, I never thought of that. How can I think of a happy life with him when I know his bloodline is the one which killed my parents? My pups will never carry the bloodline of a murderer of innocence. I step back from him with old wounds opening up inside my heart. "I am not your Luna. Why don't you get it? I don't want you. I hate you. I hate your entire family. I hate your bloody bloodline." Within seconds, I was pushed to the wall with his hand on my neck. "Ezra, don't you dare disrespect my family or what? What? What will you do? You will kill me, right? Then go ahead, kill me, but remember, I will never act." I couldn't complete my sentence as his lips were sealed on mine. My next words got lost when he took away my first kiss. I hated the effect he had on me, and from then on I knew he could be my greatest weakness in my battle of revenge. I pushed him back with full force, making him stumble back a bit. "How dare you? Don't you dare deny our bond, Ezra. We were bound to be together by Moon Goddess. You will be mine, Ezra." Eric entered with a serious look on his face. "Sav, everyone is waiting for you in the meeting room." He turned around to leave, but stopped midway. He was in front of me within seconds. He caressed my cheeks with his thumb and whispered, "You can try, Ezra, but you will never succeed. Take care." He was gone with that, leaving me with my thoughts. I walked around the forest, but my thigh could still not hold my weight for a long time. Doctor asked me to not put pressure on my leg, or else my wounds would reopen. I have decided my escape. I can't let things repeat themselves. I can't let him come closer to me. My plan is to kill his father, the present king, until he is in picture. I can't do it. He won't let me do it. I came close to Eric just to enter the palace and kill the king. And now when Xavier could bring me so close to the palace, to the king, I just can't take my revenge. I need to leave and take my revenge as Ezra and not as Xavier's mate. Right now, Xavier is busy with his meeting. 5 guards are guarding my room. I have tied the bedsheets together and tied them near the window. Slowly I descended, and once I jumped from the tied bedsheets, my body landed with a jerk, sending sharp pain to my wounded thigh. I made my way out of his territory, making sure that no one saw me. I was few feet away from his territory when I heard loud growls of a wolf. Oh no, it's him. I fastened my pace to move farther away from him, but with each step I was taking, more blood flowed out from my wound, making the bandages red in color. To make my situation worse, raindrops started flowing, making me drenched in water from head to toe. I don't know where I was going, but I knew I lost my direction when I saw 4 wolves standing before me feeding on a deer. They sniffed on smelling the blood coming from the wound on thighs, making them stop and turn their heads to look at me. My feet stopped. As they made their way towards me, my feet automatically started moving back. Next, I know I was running back towards his territory for safety. The pain on my wound intensified, making me lose my footing, and I landed face down on the muddy ground, making me covered in blood and dirt. I turned around to see dangerous faces of those wolves centimeters away from me. Sobs broke down from my lips, making me regret my decision. They were sniffing me, ready to pierce my skin with their razor-sharp canines. I screamed with all the energy left in me. And everything stilled. It felt like all the world stood still. I could see everything clearly. Between this silence, a thunderous thunder was heard, which shook the ground I was laying on. Following it was a bright blue light in the dark sky. The blue light was making its way towards me at a lightning speed. The sign on my chest started glowing the same color as the light coming my way, electric blue. I closed my eyes, blinded by the blue light. I saw a beautiful lady dressed in white with silver hair walking towards me. "Ezra, my dear, open your eyes and see who you are. This is what I made you, with power of thunder flowing through your veins. You are the strongest of all. Because of your pure soul and angelic innocence, I bestow upon you the most powerful gift ever known, the gift of Thunder Wolf. Use your powers wisely, my dear, just like your mother did. Goodbye." I opened my eyes to see the thunder enter my body. Large amount of energy entered my body, making me gasp for air because of its intensity. The light vanished just like it came. I saw my mark to see it twinkling with that blue light. The dark night came back, and the wolves surrounding me stepped back from me. Before I could do something, they turned around and started running away from me. I held the tree behind me for support and tried to lift myself up. I remember Mom used to tell me about Ezra, the thunder wolf who saved this world from evil. I thought they were just stories until now. Mom's wolf was the thunder wolf, and I was a reincarnation of her. The thunder sign on my chest was the proof of my identity, and that's why I was asked to hide it from everyone. "Ezra!" Xavier came running towards me. He held my face in his hands. "Are you all right?" I nodded. His eyes went on the wound on my thigh, and he cursed. "What the hell were you thinking running like that?" He lifted me up and placed me in a cave nearby to shield from the heavy rain outside. He lifted my muddy skirt up to open up the bandages on my thigh. When he opened the bandage, I hissed in pain, but he held my leg tightly to stop any movement. He cleaned the wound and tied a clean, dry cloth over it. I was staring at his hazel eyes all this time. How caring and loving they were. Involuntarily, tears stung in my eyes. I can't betray him. He actually cares for me. How can I kill his father? How can I send him through the same pain I felt all these years? "Hey, Ezra, it's okay now. You are all right now." He placed my head on his chest and soothed my hair, trying to calm me. His actions and care were making me cry uncontrollably. His shirt was wet with tears, and my eyes had no intention of stopping these tears. "Please, Ezra, don't run from me. I promise you my love and care. I promise to always stand by you. Please don't leave. You are my everything now. I can't live without you." He placed a gentle kiss on my forehead, making me doubt my 12 years of revenge plan. His hazel eyes were promising me all that I was deprived of till now. "I am leaving for the palace tomorrow to meet Dad, and you are coming with me." When these words left his mouth, I knew tomorrow will change everything. Tomorrow, I will visit the place where I grew up, the place which had the happiest and the darkest secrets of my past. The King's Palace. As the car came to a halt, past memories resurfaced. Those giggles and laughs, those multiple rides on my father's back, those warm cuddles and loving kisses my parents showered over me. Overwhelmed with past memories, I placed my first step back in the place where my life started. A warm hand engulfed my cold ones. I looked up to see Xavier passing me a smile of assurance. "Don't worry, my dad may seem cold at first, but he is good at heart. Just be yourself, okay?" I nodded. As we entered the ceremony hall, at the center stood the chair which belonged to the king. The same chair on which I used to sit with the crown of my Barbie princess on my head and imagine myself as the real princess. The same chair on which my dad used to sit with me on his lap. Now the chair was still the same, with its beautiful gold-plated back with an intricate design and blood-red cushioned seat, but the person sitting on it was not the same. King Algernon was seated there with one leg placed over the other, papers in one hand and a red wine glass in another. As we entered, his eyes left the papers and landed on his son. A genuine smile came on his lips, and he placed the papers on a side table. He engulfed his son in a tight hug, and they stood like this only for a minute. No words were spoken, but I realized then only the amount of love father and son had for each another. I stood behind them awkwardly. They separated, and the next words Xavier spoke made Alger acknowledge my presence. "Dad, she is my mate." Ezra. As my name escaped his lips, King Alger's smile faded away. The way he looked at me was enough to piss anybody's pants. Long gone was the love he had in his eyes. They now held hate and disgust. The scar on his face was more clear now. It looked like a sword slash during a brutal fight, and I knew better which fight it was. The scar added up to the scary look on his face, making me fear his presence. He approached me like a lion advances towards his prey. He encircled me, and as his aura engulfed me, I felt suffocated. It was the same aura that was present near my loved ones who died, the same aura which I associated with darkness, death, and evil. He was scrutinizing me from head to toe. His eyes were looking at my blue ones to peek into my soul. "Dad?" Xavier spoke up, surprised and confused of his father's behavior. "What's your full name?" He asked me in a heavy voice, still looking into my eyes. I refused to meet his eyes and looked down. "Don't know." He took one step toward me, and as his black shoes entered my view, I closed my eyes, fearing what he will do if he comes to know who I am. "Dad, she was." Xavier was interrupted when the king lifted his hand and asked him to stop. "Pack in position. Silver cross, an ohm, eager sir." There was silence for a minute. He continued to stare at me, and I refused to look at him, fearing my eyes will give away my resemblance to my dad's baby blue ones. "You are of no match to my son. You are as weak as a human, and I don't think you have anything special. He needs a beautiful, strong, and independent girl on his side, not a weak, timid, pathetic human like you. Moon Goddess makes mistakes sometimes, but we should be able to correct them." My eyes sting with tears hearing him tell me the truth so bluntly. I know I am a weak, average girl who is of no match to the beautiful and powerful King Xavier, but he didn't have to say it at my face. I looked up to see Xavier, hoping he defends me, but when I saw him looking down and not daring to speak against his father, I could no longer control the tears that flowed through my eyes. "I will make sure he rejects you and finds someone better." I cannot hear him humiliate me any longer. I turned around to leave, but his cold voice made me stop in my tracks. "How dare you try to interrupt me? I am the king of werewolves, and no one has ever dared to disrespect me like you silly human. You are presently my son's mate, and just for his sake, I am not killing you. Once you are rejected, don't you ever dare to come here. Now get lost." I turned around and left as fast as my weak legs could take me. Tears were flowing endlessly, making my view hazy. "Ezra, wait!" I heard Xavier shouting my name, but I couldn't stop. I ran out of the palace into the forest. My legs were on their own, directing me. Only after my breathing became rugged and the beautiful lake where I spent my childhood came into view, my legs stopped. I fell on my knees, and cries of emotional pain that stung my heart. This lake was our favorite picnic spot, but this was also the same place where I shedded tears of blood on losing my loved ones. Also here, only my secret thunder sign got revealed to that hazel eyes boy. One place, so many memories. "Ezra." His voice held pain. "Please, Xavier, just leave me all." "One," I said in between my sobs. He squatted down and held my face in his hands. I refused to meet his stare. He wiped my tears with his thumbs and lifted my face so that I look into his eyes. "Don't worry, Ezra, he will accept you. I will never reject you. You are my everything now. Please just trust me, everything will be fine." I moved my head in a no, telling him not to. No, Xavier, he is right. You will find someone much better than me. You should just reject me. Ezra, don't you dare. I will mark you to make you mine. No one will dare to take you away from me. His one hand left my cheeks, and he placed his head near my neck, taking in my weak scent. I will not let you leave me. You are mine. Just mine. Xavier, please don't do this. You can't. Please. Next, I know his teeth pierced the skin at my marking spot, marking me as his royal mate for eternity. After marking, if any wolf goes for rejection, the only result is death of any one of the mates. As his canines pierced into my skin, a blood-curdling scream left my mouth. All my energy was drained out of my body as he continued to mark his territory on me. He retreated, and when I looked into his eyes, those hazel eyes were looking at me with love and concern. These hazel eyes and brown hair. I have seen them somewhere before. As I closed my eyes, the face of a small boy with same hazel eyes and brown hair came into my view. He was the same boy who 15 years back at this very place saw my thunder mark. The same boy who saved me when King's guards tried to kill me. The boy who placed me behind him for protection. The boy who asked the guards not to tell the king that I was alive. Xavier was that boy who saved me that deadly night. But the worst part was that the thunder mark will give away my identity. Thunder mark was a symbol of the Thunder Wolf's reincarnation, and everyone knew that Aleka Grey, Thunder Wolf's human, had only one daughter. Ezra Grey Alistair. He cannot see my mark. He will come to know that I am the same girl he saved that night. The same girl who was the lone survivor of the disaster that night. The same girl who was the daughter of the king. I will have to hide my mark. But how can I hide it when he will wish to consummate our bond? When he will wish to unite our body and soul? I don't have much time left. I have to take my revenge before anyone gets to know who I truly am. He lifted my unconscious self as I was drained of all my energy. As he was taking me to his room, I heard the king shouting, "Xavier, how dare you mark her? Do you know the repercussions of this? Do you have any ID?" "Dad, I know what I am doing, just trust me." The words he spoke sounded deceiving. I trust Xavier more than anyone, but the way he asked the king to trust him made me think about his motive. Was he planning something? Was I wrong to trust him? What if he is on his father's side and playing with my feelings just to leave me later on? I have to focus on my plan and not trust anyone. Not even Xavier. 6 months later, I never knew what being loved felt like, but now when he loves me like no one has ever loved me before, I feel like I am trapped. Trapped between my revenge and his love. I am not a good person and surely not a good mate, but still, he made all my flaws look beautiful. Right now, his arms are encircling me in their safety as he is sound asleep, but my eyes are fixed on the full moon. In these 6 months, he showed the world what I meant to him. He treated me like a true princess, and I will never forget what all he did for me. Those endless times he made me smile, and those numerous times he stood behind me as a rock for my protection. Hundreds of those against whom he stood to prove me being human didn't make me weak. The day he told his father to never say a word against me, or else he will forget he is his father. And especially that confession on the boardwalk under the shining stars. The numerous times he looked into my eyes like he is looking at his world and told me how beautiful I am. He couldn't see my thunder mark, so I told him I was uncomfortable in taking our love to next step. Marking was all right, but I was not ready for mating, and he never forced me for it. He said he loved my soul more, and we will consummate our bond only when I tell him to. Such is his love. I never knew someone could love you to this extent, but again, I was a callow in love. I just can't help myself from falling in love with him. But my love is tainted unlike his, and he will discover this very soon. He will feel heartbroken, betrayed, deceived, but that is what was always meant to happen. I had planned my revenge, and within a few minutes it will be executed. This peaceful night will turn bloody, just like it did that night I lost my everything. Xavier, please forgive me for what I'm going to do. I know you love your dad a lot, but I had to serve justice. Those who once did the inhuman acts of killing hundreds of innocents have to pay back a much heavier price with interest. Please forgive me if possible. Ezra, what happened? Are you okay? He asked, and my breathing stopped for a second. He tuned me towards him, and I closed my eyes, not able to look at him. "Hey, what's bothering my Ezra? Just tell me," he said, holding my face in his hands and caressing my cheeks with his thumbs. I still refused to open my eyes, and in response just hugged him tightly, hiding my face in his chest. "You know you can tell me whatever is bothering you. I will never judge you. I will still love you." I pulled myself up and looked into his eyes to see endless love in them. "I love you too." He was surprised. I never confessed to him. But today, I had to. He needs to know that he is the only person I love and will love no matter what happens after tonight. He smiled like he never smiled before, and I launched myself on him, making both of us fall on the bed. I hugged him like I never hugged anyone before, and he kissed my head. The phone rang on the side table. I knew what it was. I refused to leave him because I knew this will be the last time I will be this close to him. "Ezra, it must be something important. Just let me pick it up." But I refused. "No, Sav, just a few seconds more. I was feeling my heaven before I get dragged to hell. You are so childish sometimes," he said with a smile. The phone stopped ringing, and I also left him. He picked his phone from the side table. "Why is Chris calling at this time?" The phone again rang. He picked it up, and it literally dropped from his hands as his face held shock. "What?" "I am coming. Just make sure Dad is all right. Just stay by his side." He ended the call and without wasting a second, turned around to leave. "Zav, wait, where are you going?" I shouted behind him. He held my face in his hands, and the second my eyes met his, I felt like I was a curse in his life. Those happy, shining eyes have turned so dull, worried, and sad that I couldn't help myself from feeling his pain. "Just stay here and don't leave this building. I will be back." With this, he was gone, leaving me in my self-destructive thoughts. The palace was nearly 200 miles from here. Even in his wolf form, he can't reach there in less than 1 hour. He will not be harmed in this attack, and this was planned by me beforehand. My phone rang, and the screen showed an unknown number. I knew who it could be. "Your work was done. He was stabbed with a wolfsbane-coated knife, and his chances of survival are minimum. What about the rest? The targets were all killed, and our forces overpowered them. Good. Retreat this instant." "Yes, ma'am." I ended the call to feel relieved that everything went as per the plan. Hours passed. I tried calling Zav, but he didn't answer. With each passing second, I was getting more and more worried. Was he all right? He will recover from this loss, right? I decided to call Chris. "Hello, Luna. Chris, where's Zav? Is he all right?" Actually, we were attacked by rogues all of a sudden. Uncle Black is very serious, and Alpha went into the woods an hour back, but he has not returned. I am coming. "No, Luna, you can't. He wants you to stay there." I ended his call and rushed towards the palace. I can't leave him on this state. What if something happens to him? I reached the palace to see my worst nightmare again come true in front of eyes. Blood marks on the walls, dead bodies lying in the halls, and that stinking smell of blood. But this time, this blood belonged to those murderers, and not innocents. "Luna, what are you doing here?" Chris came looking worried with dark circles encircling his eyes. "Has he returned?" "No, I can't reach him." I turned around and ran into the forest. Chris was shouting behind me, telling that it was not safe, but I didn't care. I reached the lake and saw him sitting there staring at the lake. His white shirt had blotches of blood, and I got scared. I ran towards him and scanned him to see if he was injured. His eyes didn't left the lake, and for a second I thought he was not alive. "Xavier! Sav!" I shouted, and his eyes shifted to mine. His stare was so cold and emotionless that I couldn't look into them. Ow, all right?" He didn't reply. In the deadly silence of this forest, his silence was killing me. But then when I thought he wouldn't say anything, he said, 17 years back at this very place, a similar blood massacre happened. Throne was overthrown in front of my eyes. Innocents were killed in front of my eyes, but I couldn't do much. Dad said the world lives on survival of the fittest, and to win, someone has to sacrifice. I saw a lot of sacrifices that day. But here at this place, I saw a girl for whom I was willing to sacrifice myself. She looked like an angel who was sitting in hell. She was covered in blood, her eyes swollen with tears and her voice shaky with fear. Those moistened eyes made me rethink if she also needs to be sacrificed for peace. I wanted to protect her, and I did. No one knows this. Everyone thought that day no one survived, but she did. She was angel after all. How could I let her die in hell? I don't know who she was or what her name was. I just knew one thing, that she was rare. So rare that she had to be preserved. There was a thunder mark near her heart, and it showed who she was. It showed that she was actually rare. Born with the power of thunder, she was the queen's daughter, or should I say, the true princess. I saved her that day. I wanted to save her from all harm in this world, but she left. She vanished in thin air with no trace to be followed. I searched for her for many years, but there was no sign of her. Today, my position is similar to her. I am sitting at the same place she sat, going through the same emotional pain she went through. But what was my fault? My dad. Dad was the only family I had, and now he is gone. I loved him so much. He was my everything, and now I lost him. I saved that girl, so why is this happening to me? Next, I know he lost control of himself and punched the bark of the tree. He continued to hit it, and his knuckles were turning red from blood. Xav, please. Control yourself. I tried to grab his arm, but he refused to stop. Dad, I will avenge your death. I will shred them into pieces who killed you. His words made me loose my grip on his. He is going to hate me. If he comes to know the truth, he will reject me. He stopped, and I grabbed his hands to see blood oozing out of them. I tore my shirt from under and tied the cloth around his knuckles. Please, Xav, control yourself. Everything will be fine with time. Just please, be patient. No, I will not calm down unless I have the head of the rogue leader at my feet. He will regret the day he decided to cross my path. Suddenly, a guard appeared. Alpha, the rogue we caught, is awake. Xavier had a determined look at his face. His anger was now in control, but I knew it will burst like a volcano soon. Good, so let the game begin. This was the first time I saw him this angry, and I must admit I was scared of him. This rogue can break under pressure, and when he breaks, my downfall will begin. Soon the truth will come out, and I am afraid that day his love for me will change into hate. I have seen his extent of love, but now I was afraid to see his extent of hate. Really. Sorry for the late update, but I will try to make next updates to their earliest. The most valuable gift you give someone is time, and I am happy you have given me that for a while. Time is money. Time is life. From the day we are born to the day we die, the clock will not stop unless we close our eyes. Do now what you want to. Don't wait for the right time, because word right now itself says that I am right. Live, laugh, enjoy every second right now, so that you can't say I didn't do that later on. I am not a poet, nor is this a poem. These are just words trying to tell you for what you should cherish and cheer for every time. Your time means so much to me that I can't describe. But this is just a wishful attempt to make your day one of the best of your lives. What should I do? Should I escape before he comes to know the truth, or should I stay here to face the music? Either way, one thing was sure: my rejection. Can I survive his rejections? I am so stupid. Why didn't I thought about this before? If he rejects me, the chances of me having a wolf and her surviving were next to zero. Oh God. How can I be so ignorant? But again, I never thought I had a wolf. How does it matter if he rejects me? I will still remain human. With these thoughts flooding my mind, I was pacing inside our room for the last half an hour. My thoughts were interrupted when I heard people shouting outside. I ran towards the window to see my worst nightmare come true. There he was, with a murderous look on his face, and the rogue I contacted lying at his feet. He pulled him up from his collar, and next we know a jaw-breaking voice could be heard. People all around started cheering for their new Alpha King. Rushing with hate and anger against the person, the public started cheering like crazy. Tell me who sent you. When he got no reply again, another rib-breaking voice was heard. The rogue landed on the ground and coughed blood. He was loyal. I had to admit it, otherwise, who would die for someone like me? His loyalty towards me was not worth dying for. He was an exception. Not just because he was still left with a heart, even after being a rogue, but because the heart he managed to preserve was made of gold. As he laid on his back, all bloody and bruised, his brown eyes met mine, the same eyes which showed me his extent of loyalty few days back. Flashback. I should turn back, I thought as I saw fog clouds ahead of me. It's been an hour's journey out of the packed grounds already. As I turned around to leave, my eyes were met with two sparking brown eyes. I was shocked for a second, but I managed to recover. An average-looking werewolf stood in front of me with a dull brown coat. He sensed average, and I felt a little less afraid. He started taking steps towards me, and I prepared to attack, but I don't know why his eyes were showing me that he didn't meant any harm. But then suddenly he speeded up and jumped in the air towards me. Unprepared, I was only able to close my eyes. Next, I know instead of attacking me, he attacked something behind me. When I turned around, I saw him snapping the neck of that wolf. Next, he turned around to look at me, and I couldn't find words to thank him. He did something I only saw people do to my dad. He bowed. "Your Highness, it's been so hard to find you." His words left me scared. Yes, scared, because I never thought someone would come to know about this. He had a genuine smile on his face as he looked into my blue eyes. Ow. Do. Why? Oh. No? I managed to ask, afraid of him. I was afraid because he knew something I spend my entire life hiding. He had a leverage on me regarding this. I am Marcus' mom, but that's quite irrelevant. The thing that matters is your position. You have the bloodline of royal blood, and I hate to admit it, but you are also the last one having it. I am a leader of rogue groups, the same groups which are against the thought of having someone else other than you as our leader. We want you to take your father's place. There was silence. I can't believe this. I don't trust you. Prove me your loyalty. He picked his sword and handed it over to me. Kill me, and I won't even flinch, because dying in your hands will be an honor, Your Highness. With this, he placed the tip of the sword on his neck, urging me to go forward. I lifted the sword up and aimed at his chest. I only wanted to test him. My sword was centimeters away from his skin, and he didn't even flinch or tried to protect himself. My sword unintentionally slicked past his skin, and a line of blood could be seen flowing from it, but his face still remained the same. This is just a small example of my loyalty towards you, ma'am. With time, you will see the true extent of it. His words made me smile, and I placed my hands on his shoulder and said, "Get everything ready for an attack." Flashback over. No, he can't die. I won't let him die. Those who are willing to respect you are rare, but those who are willing to die for it are rarest. Tell me, you filthy He still stared at me, and my heart shattered to pieces on seeing his state. This was all my fault. This was my battle, and I shouldn't have involved them into this. These rogues should live with freedom and not die in King's prison. I nodded my head, telling Marcus to reveal the truth, but he still refused. He moved his head to the sides, showing his denial. Damn it, Marcus. Why can't you just listen to me? I hurriedly went downstairs. Large number of people blocked my path, but I pushed and dodged them to make my way. You want to die protecting that bastard who doesn't even give a damn about you. So generous of you, Xavier said, and in response, Marcus just smiled. Even with blood flowing out of his mouth, he managed to give him a smile, which further fumed Xavier. Then Marcus said those words which made me change my mind. My loyalty remains till my last heartbeat remains. My respect remains till her head is held high again. My hope remains till the royal blood keeps flowing in her veins. Then you better die with these hopes kept in vain if you don't tell me where he is. With this, Xavier pulled up a wolfsbane-coated knife ready to stab him. I don't know what happened to me, but all of a sudden I shouted the words I never wanted Xavier to find out. I am here! I shouted at the top of my voice, making everyone to turn around to look at me. All sounds died down. Utter confusion could be sensed all around. What is she saying? Is she insane? Luna did this? She headed the rogues? What? She killed so many people. I can't believe this. As I made my way towards the center, everyone cleared my way. I stood in front of Marcus, protecting the one who was willing to die, protecting me. Ezra? Xavier said, shocked to see me. He pulled down his knife and looked at me with disbelief. I ordered to kill your father. My voice has turned cold, and I stared into his eyes while I spoke these words to show him that each word I was speaking was nothing but the truth. What? Ezra, have you lost it? I don't believe you. I am sorry, Xavier, but I have to break your heart along with mine. You were just a ladder to my destination, Xavier. My goal was clear, your father's death, and I got it. I hated him with all my existence, and I hated his blood that is running through your veins. And you thought I could love you, huh? What a joke. What bullshit are you saying, Ezra? Today you said you loved me. How can? Love is a joke, my dear mate. Those who fall in it are bound to left broken in the end. I don't know how I am pulling up this fake act. These evil smiles I'm giving him and these wicked words I'm using are a double-edged sword piercing my heart in return. Ute father was a murderer, and he had to pay for it. I hated him for so long, and now I finally got a chance to kill him. Bloody sick bass. Ezra! He closed his eyes, trying to calm himself. Don't you dare to say a word against him. Don't you dare, or I'll forget you are my mate. I turned around and helped Marcus. Yar, Highness, what are you do? He said through ragged breaths. Shh, Marcus, just leave. I will watch your back. Just keep running and don't look back. B-U-T-I, I can't leave you alone. I was always alone. Don't worry, I'll manage you. Just go, Marcus. This is an order. Run. With this, he turned around and started running. As the guards tried to run behind him, I blocked their way. They stopped waiting for their alpha's order, and within these few minutes, Marcus got a lead. They all looked at their alpha, waiting for his order to attack their Luna, but he was too heartbroken to realize what was happening. He grabbed my shoulders and started shaking me, asking me again and again, "Tell me you are lying. Tell me this is a joke. Please. Say. Ezra, tell me you didn't do it." I removed his hands from my shoulders and a look of hurt flashed through his eyes. Next, I saw those shiny teardrops floating in his eyes, displaying his emotions. They never left his eyes, but were enough to see how much pain he was in. Xavier, some things are just never meant to be, and we are one of them. I killed your father, and I am not even a bit ashamed to accept this. I don't regret, I only feel content. He held his head in his hands and pulled his hair. How can I be so stupid? How? With this, he started transforming, and I found this as an opportunity to run. Howls of wolves could be heard all around, and I realizes Marcus has sent his army for me. With Xavier's wolf at my trail, I only crossed 1,000 meters and was met with hundreds of wolves standing for my protection. They all bowed down on seeing me, and this got noticed by Xavier. He looked confused, angry, and monstrous. As I stepped out of his territory with hundreds of wolves standing by my side, my last words left all the pack members in shock of their life. A queen of rogues is meant to rule with freedom, not to be prisoned in packs. When you control those who lack direction, you not only lead them, but also have a huge responsibility on your shoulder. The responsibility to do right, to be just and fair. And it is easier said than done. Rogues, as everyone says, are animalistic, ferocious, and deadly. And I must admit what they say is true. They all were like that, but this changed when they stayed here together and experienced an emotion which made them more human. They learned how to love. Power of love taught them care, kindness, and sacrifices. My pack taught them this, and I am happy to lead them. We are called the Thunder Pack, which is an unofficial pack by legal nature. And it will always remain so because no one in sane mind would recognize a pack of rogues. Located in Astana, we have occupied an area of nearly 30 kilometers. Ishim River flows through our disputed territory, and everything here is beautiful. Rogues are welcome here, but not all rogues, only those who have a clear track record and are the victims, not the attackers. I personally approve the entry of new members and make sure they deserve a place here. Rejected, abused, banished, orphans, wolves are all welcomed here. Nearly 15,000 wolves live here, and in figures, this number exceeds the number of wolves in 20 normal packs. And as with number comes strength. We are the most strongest pack in the world, even though our name is not there on the official list of top 10 strongest packs. Everyone knows about the Thunder Pack, but no one dares to attack us. They know winning against such huge number is impossible. Rejected rogues here find their second chance mates, abused ones find love and care, banished ones find a place they can call home, and orphans find a family here. Thunderpack's territory is divided into small districts, headed my top 10 ministers. Over them is our Gamma Jack, then comes my Beta Marcus, and at the top am I. We also have a large number of warriors, nearly 4,800, to safeguard our territory. Combat training and regular training is provided to all between the age groups of 15 to 30 years. In short, Thunderpack is a small country of its own, headed by me, aka Ezra, their queen. 2 years back, I entered this pack and I never thought we would reach here. In these 2 years, I never heard from Xavier, but he was present everywhere. On the TV, giving his coronation speech, or in the words of my pack members who admired him for his power and position. On the news, setting new rules for every pack, or in the magazines where they titled him as the handsome king of hearts and packs. He was the royal king of all werewolves. All packs around the world, may it be Asia, Europe, Russia, Africa, America, Arabia, followed his orders. In short, he was the most powerful wolf on the planet Earth, with the power and order to kill an entire pack with a flick of his fingers. Everyone talked about his attractive personality and his reserved nature, which intrigued the ones who met him. According to the pictures I saw, now his body was shaped to perfection, with all the required muscle. His jaw has turned more prominent, and those brown eyes have turned cold. People dreamed to catch a glimpse of him. He made the day of girls when he looked at them. In short, he is a leader with immense power and a charmer of millions of hearts. Your Highness, it's time, Marcus said, breaking my chain of thoughts. I nodded and left my room with Marcus at my trail. As I entered the meeting room, everyone stood up and wished. I made my way towards the head seat at the round table, and as I sat down, I motioned everyone to sit. Ministers of 10 districts, my Gamma, head warrior, and others holding top positions in this pack were seated around me. I need updates on your progress. All of you present me with your weekly reports. But before starting, I want Mr. Steve to tell me about this latest gossip which is going on around. This was unexpected. Some had confused expression on their faces, and others looked scared. Mr. Steve, who is the coordinator of business affairs of this pack, had a look of fear. Everyone looked at him, waiting for his answer. Ma'am, actually, some leaders of the neighboring packs questioned your ability to rule. They called you a weak little girl who should leave this to a male and go find her mate, and pluzu, him. Loud gasps could be heard around. They looked at my face, awaiting my reaction. Name and pack, Mr. Steve. I asked with a neutral look on my face. Red Blood Pack, they're Alpha Andrew and B. Ida. Ray Reynolds said this. These chauvinistic pigs. I noted down their names on my notepad. Okay, the matter will be handled. Now start with your reports. Steve wiped the beads of sweat on his forehead with his handkerchief, feeling relieved. The security had started. No attacks on any of the borders, although a rogue was spotted near the western border, but he did not cross the boundary. 345 warriors are presently deployed on the borders, and 1,000 are undergoing final level of training. Tomorrow, the final match will take place, and those who pass will be the new recruits into the army. Other than these, our new weapon supplies have arrived and have been tested. I didn't pass the budget for these supplies, and I remember the previous supplies came just last Thursday. Who passed the budget? Mr. Cameron did, ma'am. He said you were busy, so. Did I ask for any clarification on his part? No, ma'am. Answer only what I ask you. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Marcus, call Cameron right now. Silence filled the room for the time being till Cameron entered the room. He bowed in respect. Do you care to explain why this order was passed without my approval, Mr. Cameron? Cameron examined the paper I presented him, and his face lost its color. Actually, you were busy, and the supplier was persistent, so I gave my approval. Mr. Cameron, funds of this pack are collected from those who work hard day and night to earn them, and if you plan to waste them, I will not hesitate to replace you with a more competent officer. You only have the power to approve an order when there is an emergency, which this was not, as unused supplies were lying in the store. So for using your powers in an unjust way, I demote you of your position. You are dismissed. I am really sorry, ma'am. I'll never do such a thing again. With this, he left. Next, Minister of District 4. This continued for the next 4 hours. Once the meet was over, Marcus gave me all the handwritten copies. What do you plan to do to Red Moon Alpha and his beta, ma'am? Marcus asked. Write them a letter challenging them for a duet. But you, sure. I mean, you can't even shift, and they are very powerful. I placed my hand on his shoulder. Some fights are not fought with power, Marcus, but with brains. You just send him this challenge. I know what I am doing. Okay, if you say so. With this, he left. It's been 2 years since then, and even now I haven't shifted. Maybe my wolf's rejection to my actions did this, or I was born like this. I seriously don't know. I just hope somewhere inside me she is still alive. Otherwise, I don't know how long I will be able to lead this pack. I lack strength. And in my position, strength is something which is assumed. Many alphas have tried to take over my pack before by defeating me, but the thing was they could never reach me. My warriors and guards destroyed them before they could even touch me. They were my walls, but I really don't know what will happen if a big attack happens and these walls break. As I laid down on my bed and looked at the moon outside, I wondered if the moon could see Xavier and tell me what he was doing. Has he moved on in life? I heard gossips of him dating a few women and searching for a new mate, but was it really that simple? Was forgetting me that easy? I don't have a right to say this, as I was the one who left him, but still I keep judging myself with the girls in the tabloids standing with him, comparing myself with them. But I guess I deserved this. I deserve every bit of it for doing what I did. I deserve to long for his love as I destroyed his heart. Good night, mate. I wish you get all the happiness I couldn't give you. With this, I closed my eyes and drifted into sleep, waiting for another day of my rule. Werewolf King Xavier Black's Kingdom, Astana Province. Please, Your Majesty, this was a mist. I didn't intend to. Betray my pack. Don't kill me, please. I have a family. The filthy backstabber said, falling on my feet, begging for his life. Please, you can punish me, but please don't kill. I crouched down at his level and stared at his red, teary eyes. Please give me a cha, ence. The king grabbed the rogue's neck and he started coughing, his eyes rolling back, and his hands tried to loosen his grip. Betrayal was your option, and now your death is mine. Ace. I don't forgive people, especially when they are the ones I trusted the most. You should have known that beforehand. Goodbye. With a single flick of his wrist, his neck broke, making his body lay limp on the ground. The king exited the prison, followed by his beta Chris and third in command. Xav, actually, today's meeting is about that. Rogue pack, do you wish to attend it? Chris asked, a bit afraid of his king's reaction, knowing that Thunder Rogue pack was a sensitive topic for him. Xavier's steps halted, and he closed his eyes, trying to remain calm. Thunder Pack, the bloody, filthy rogues pack. The same pack that provides shelter to the rogues he eliminates. The pack which is headed by her who he only continues to hate with each passing second. If you don't want, we can cancel this meeting. No, you guys go. I'll join you in a few minutes. They bowed down their head and then left their king alone. Xavier headed out towards the lake, where he usually went to calm himself. 2 long years passed since she left him, since she betrayed him. But still that wound felt as fresh as yesterday. He laid everything at her feet, raised her to the standards of a princess, loved her like he never loved anyone. But in return, what did he get? His father's death, his own mate's betrayal. Sometimes he used to think that was her love in act. Did she for even a heartbeat loved him? Did she meant the words she said on their last day together? But now, with time, all these doubts got more and more stronger. His questioning ceased, and assumptions became a belief. He now believes that she never loved him, that she was worse than his enemies, and he was blind to trust her. After that, he never trusted anyone except himself. He never loved anyone, even a bit, to get hurt in return. He never revealed his true nature to anyone, as he felt no one deserved to know his good side. Few months after she left, he was crowned the king of werewolves, taking over his father's position. With the crown on his head came great responsibilities, and he was competent in fulfilling them. Work was his one and only preference. She no longer mattered to him, but recently they collided. His work collided with her when he was informed of a rogue pack headed by none other than his mate. His preferences have changed. Earlier, he despised his father's position as a king and just wanted a happy life with his mate, but now his position was above all. He headed towards the meeting room. Everyone bowed down in respect. As the king settled on his throne, the meeting started. Your Majesty, based on the voting of packs, majority is in favor of an attack on the Thunder Pack. The neighboring packs have lodged complaints regarding their lands being illegally occupied by the Thunder Pack. As per the land law of disputed territories, also, illegal occupation exceeding 3 months is a punishable offense, and they have it for the last 2 years. We all present here are unanimously giving our decision of attacking this pack. Attacking the Thunder Pack required flawless planning. Have you, Mr. Smith, proposes a budgeted statement of projected warriors, warfare, weapons, and strategy blueprints? Yes, Your Majesty, here are the numbers. Mr. Smith handed over the sheets to his king. The king deeply analyzed the facts and figures as everyone maintained silence. Does anyone wishes to say something before I approve this? Yes, Your Majesty. One of the members said, Yes, Mr. Dior, speak. Actually, the alpha of this Thunder Pack is a female. We have never attacked a female before. We do have female rogues who are captured and killed by packs, but our pack never attacked a female. What are you trying to say, Mr. Dior? Say it clearly. I just want to know that if we defeat their pack, which we will, then what about her? Will we kill her as well? She is still a female. Mr. Smith, can you tell Mr. Dior what the penal code says under section 134 para 3 regarding traitor being a female? Mr. Smith turned the pages of the Book of Justice and stopped at para 3. A rogue leading a group of rogues and causing a threat to wolf pack's existence and assets is punishable with an imprisonment of 2 years, along with third-degree torture, irrespective of his/her gender. In addition to para above, if it is a female that is punishable in this clause, she will also be subjected to high doses of wolfsbane to eliminate her wolf so that she can't have a mate in future. Members present in the meeting were shocked to know this new information they were ignorant of. Mr. Dior, I hope you got the answer to your question. Why, yes, Your Highness. Okay then, tomorrow at 8 a.m. we leave for Astana. The 20 other packs attacking are required to surround the Thunder Pack at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. At 11:10 sharp tomorrow, the attack will begin. All the other packs are to be intimated by you, Mr. Roger. Here are the details and strategies. Send this to them as well. So we meet tomorrow. Get ready with your weapons and supplies till then. Yes, Alpha? Xavier grabbed his court from behind his seat and made his way out of the throne room. As soon as he left, gossips and discussions followed. I pity that girl. Till torture it's fine, but killing her wolf. That's why I say girls should not do what males do. They are weak. I heard no one has seen her wolf. Poor soul, her wolf will die before it even blossoms. I hate her. One of my pack members entered her territory and even his body was not found. She deserves to die. What a shame. I heard she is beautiful. Maybe once her wolf dies, I can mate with her. I pity her mate. Poor man, he was mated to a girl like her. He will definitely reject her. This punishment is harsh for a female, don't you think? She will die for sure. I heard she is similar to a human with no wolf. She can't survive this extent of torture. These talks followed, but no one talking there knew that the girl they were talking about was actually their true queen. And the mate who they were pitying was no other than their king himself, who approved this order. Such was their fate, that even if they wished to collide, the crowns laying on their heads would always overweight. On one hand, warships were getting ready. On the other hand, the king's decision was making him a wreck. He hates her. He wants to kill her. He no longer loves those blue eyes. He no longer admires her beauty, but still, his heart beats for her. His wolf lives because of her, and if her wolf is killed, a part of him will forever leave him. His wolf will survive. He knows his wolf's strength, but she may not. But now decisions are made, and options no longer hold valid. He will get her and make her pay for all the pain she caused him. Just wait, Ezra, your worst nightmare is coming your way. Get ready to be played in his hands because he holds your life in his palms. After all, he is the king of all werewolves, and you are just a rogue. He is the giver and taker of life, and you are just a pawn. The day her rule ends and his game begins. 28th of June, 2018. Astana, Russia. Thunderpack. Time 11:05, 5 minutes before the attack. I am sitting on the rocks of Ishim River, thinking of how beautiful this flowing water looks like to a bystander who is unaware of its deadly strength to drown the biggest and strongest of beings. Beautiful things are pleasing, but once you mess with them, they can be dangerous as well. Just like Xavier. In the silence of night, under the canopy of trees, I looked at the full moon shining bright up in the sky. My peace went haywire when a loud howl was heard. Within seconds, I started receiving multiple mind links. Alpha North border is under attack. Your Highness, huge number of wolves are attacking the east side. Alpha, we are outnumbered. Among all these voices, Marku's voice stood out the most. Your Highness, please come back. You are not safe there. Hurry, when thousands of wolves are heading your way. In between these urgent pleas in my head, I heard the loud footsteps of wolves approaching me. The ground was shaking, showing their number and strength. What should I do? Running was not option. Everyone moved towards the underground tunnel. Now! Marcus, stay there and help everyone escape. All warriors head back towards the center of our territory. Unify all the forces. Territory loss does not matter. Only prioritize your pack members' lives. Move. I mind-linked my entire pack, listening to their shaky response in return. Don't fear. The underground tunnel beginning from the chamber in my room will lead you all to our second territory located 20 kilometers south of Ishim River. Hurry. I want everyone safe. After ordering everyone, I made my way towards the river. These strong currents were my only option. I backed against a big rock, and as soon as the wolves appeared, I fully submerged my body under the cold waters. 20 sec, 40 sec, 1 min. My lungs could no longer hold on. I resurfaced my face to catch air, but as my head came out, I saw the end of my pack. Thousands of wolves were there, ready to kill whosoever entered their view. I had no hope that my pack will survive, but I just hope my pack members do. I again went underwater, but when I resurfaced, I saw that majority of the wolves went further. Only 5 of them stood there sniffing the air. One of the wolf's eyes met mine, and my breathing stopped that instant. Shit. Your Highness, 90% of the pack members are safe. They escaped through the tunnel. We are closing the gates. Please hurry. I am here waiting for you outside your chamber. Your Highness, are you there? You leave and close the gates, Marcus. I mind-linked him. The wolf headed towards me, slowly ready to pounce at me. Because of fear, I stepped back, making my body fall into the flowing current behind. The current was very strong. I tried to grab the branches and rocks that came in my way, but they only lead to scrapping of my hands and arms. I felt numb. My mind was not able to think straight. But then a sudden force at my chest made me stop. My whole body screamed in pain at the sudden impact. I could feel something hard touching my body. I opened my eyes to see a huge rock in the center of the river on which my body stopped. I grabbed onto it with the little strength remaining in my body. That voice of running water was no longer calming. Instead, it was as scary as death. I was able to breathe properly, but still my shoulders and chest were covered in blood wounds. I made my way out of the river with shaky legs and bloody arms. My dark black hair covered my face, and I didn't even have the strength to push them out of my face. Your Highness! Please, where are you? Tell me! Marcus's mind link returned. My mind was not working properly. I tried to mind link him, but my voice was lost. I could hear him, but he could not hear me. I was dragging myself to God knows where. My eyes were closed, lacking direction. I just wanted to go away from all this. I just wanted peace. Just then, my head hit something hard. My heavy eyes looked up to see a blonde guy with green eyes staring at me. I stepped back, afraid of his upper hand in this scenario. He was well-built, strong, and definitely a pack wolf. Also, the sinister, cruel smile on his face gave scary vibes. Going somewhere, princess? He said, stepping towards me. He knows who I am. I stepped back, but this time my legs gave out and I landed on the ground. He stood above me and started circling me. Born as a princess, mate to the king, queen of rogues, you surely are a full royal package, Miss Ezra Grey Alistair. My blue eyes met his green ones as he said my full name. No one ever knew my full name except the ones that died the day my father's kingdom was attacked. How does he? Who is he? Who? Ow. He laughed. I am no one, your highness. I am just a slave to the king following his orders. B. How do you know my full name? You are a curious one, aren't you? He crouched down and tucked the wet hair covering my face. His touch felt disgusting, and I looked into his eyes coldly. Wow! You are truly beautiful, my lady. These blue eyes are so captivating, just like your father's, beautiful and deep. And this skin is so pale, just like the moon in a dark night. He touched my cheek with his palm, and I flinched back, trying to avoid his touch. My body was protesting me not to move, as with each movement came a new wave of pain. But don't worry, this beauty will no longer remain. I'll make sure to ruin it with my own hands. Just then, heavy footsteps were heard from behind. Nearly 30 wolves surrounded me. The blonde stood up and turned around to address someone. Your Highness, we have the Queen of Rogues unguarded and helpless lying at our feet. Just then I felt his aura, dominating and powerful than ever, approaching me. A weird kind of feeling entered my body, making me heated all of a sudden. Was it 2 years of his absence or my longing? I don't know, but still amidst this coldness, I felt this warm feeling engulf me. You can step back, Daniel. With this, the blonde stepped back, and I saw those beautiful hazel eyes looking at me with hate. I tried to get up, to move, but I couldn't. I was truly helpless and trapped, lying at the mercy of my mate. Ezra, please answer me. Are you okay? Marcus again mind-linked me. I focused and was able to send him my last link. Don't wait for me. You leave and close the tunnel. But Ezra, you? I have some debts to pay. Until then, you rule the small empire we created. Boo? With this, I closed the mind link. Xavier stood above me, looking down. I refused to look up at him as I lacked the courage. I closes my eyes, but then I felt his breath at my neck, making me shiver. This was the right place where you belonged, dear mate, here at my feet, shivering and trembling with fear. Such a fool I was to raise you when you never deserved to. His words were sharp knives piercing my heart, but I also knew I deserved them. He stood in front of me and looked at me while I refused to look at him. Next, his cold hands grabbed my neck and made me look up at him. Pretty, but sadly a veil to your true intentions, he said, looking at my eyes. His grip on my neck tightened, making teardrops escape my eyes. But his expression didn't change. He looked ready to kill me any instant. Your Highness, her injuries may catch infection. Please, if you would let me treat them. A person came having multiple bottles with him. He stopped him by holding up his hand. Is she a pack member, doctor? No. The doctor replied. Is she an ally? No. Alpha? Then I don't think she deserves a treatment. My body was screaming in pain, and his refusal was making me desperate to get rid of this pain. Please make this pain go away. Then he ordered, give me the bottle of methyl alcohol. What? No. It is very painful. Before I could protest, a bottle full of it was thrown on my bleeding arms and shoulders, making me scream in pain. Ease. I continued to scream in pain as the piercing pain entered my body. Overflowing tears of pain escaped my eyes. My body rolled to the ground in pain, and as my head hit the ground, I continued to roll to different sided, trying to escape this unbearable, excruciating pain I never felt in my body. I continued to scream till my throat turned sour, and those loud screams turned into painful whimper. Soon I lost the strength to stay conscious, and that unbearable pain made me lose my consciousness. Xavier's POV, I was sitting in my office library, engrossed in my work. Different cases required different references to various clauses and sections of werewolf penal codes. My library consists of multiple books ranging from legislatures, civil law books, to historic fictions. You name a book and it will be here in my library. I got up from my seat and searched through the multiple shelves looking for the red-covered book which has a case similar to the present one at my hand. Shelf. 5. No. 7. Finally, I found it. As I pulled the red-covered book out, but by mistake, another book slipped from its place and landed on the Italian tiles with a thud. I bended down to pick it up, but the picture on the open page made me stop all of a sudden. That sign. How could it be here? I picked it up to see that the same sign I saw 10 years back was there, clear and distinct. A thunder mark bordered by lightning blue color. The same mark I saw on the chest of the girl I saved on that deadly night. The mark on that angel. I looked closer to read what the book said. Born with the mark of a lightning thunder is considered a blessing as well as a curse. The history proves how the wolves born with this unique mark die within few days of their birth. The very few who are strong enough to survive are nature's havoc. With power uncontrollable, strength unwatchable, and humanity lost, they hold the power to end the world of werewolves. Nearly 2,000 years back, out of all elementalists, they were the most powerful ones. They were killed at a very young age to ensure that survival of wolfkind does not get in danger. They were the first ones to get extinct nearly 1,000 years back. In contrast to this, some few thunder elementalists were a blessing to this world. The one human quality this wolf has, if controlled properly, is selflessness. This wolf is even known to lay down its life for those who she loves. Yes, this wolf is a female and is always inherited in a female human body. The last thunder wolf was seen in 1050 AC, but recently a miracle happened and a girl inherited this rare gene. A woman with eyes as dark as night turned into a black wolf bigger than anyone has ever seen. Blue lights encircled her, and she controlled the nature's thunder with her mind. She was to be executed for her uncontrollably strength, but once she proved that she only wanted to protect, she turned into everyone's hero. She protected this world till the day she was brutally murdered in cold blood along with her mate. The Queen of Werewolves died that day, leaving the world of werewolves unguarded. Since then, the Queen became a history inspiring the generations to come with her heroic and brave deeds. I did heard of the story of the Thunder Wolf when I was a kid, but I never believed it. Majority of the people disregarded this story. Only few who said they had seen this wolf believed in it. I turned around the book to see its cover. History of the Unknown. I turned the first page to see its edition. 20th February 2016. I have never seen this book before and didn't even knew that it existed till now. I turned the pages to see if I could find something about this thunder wolf, but it was not mentioned anywhere else. At last, I opened the page with the thunder mark and traced it with my fingers. I remembered the feeling of tracing the mark on that girl's chest. She was so beautiful and fragile. I still remember how she paled when I placed my sword near her face. So innocent and unique. She was the only girl I fell in love with at first sight. Never again I felt my heart beat so rapidly. With my mate, it was different. With her, the sparks exploded, and I only wanted to love her. But that girl, I wanted to protect her. But right now, the thing which is disturbing me is that I did heard of the Queen having the thunder powers. The Queen before my dad took over this position. If that Queen was the Thunder Wolf and that little angel had a thunder mark, this means the little angel must be the Queen's daughter, that is King Aaron's daughter, thus making her the descendant to her father's throne. Oh my God. She is the true successor to this throne. I placed the book on the side table and sat down on my seat, holding my head in my hands. That day, I saved the next queen. Maybe that's why Dad wanted to kill everyone there. He wanted to completely eliminate the royal bloodline. But I saved her. I saved the one and only heir to the royals. Chris, calm down, bro. I am coming. What happened? He appeared at the door. Gather the search team right now. Search team? But why? Just do as I tell you. Okay, just calm down. I'll call them. I don't even know if she is alive, but if she is, I'll find her no matter what. I need to find my little angel. I need her here with me. I can't kill her. Neither was able to nor will. But still, I want her. Your mate is there in the cold dungeons undergoing torture, and you are here finding some other girl to replace her. My wolf said. She is no longer my mate. You better get this into your head. I don't care for her. She is just like any other prisoner to me and is also my father's murderer as well. She must have her reasons. Why don't you listen to her? She still loves us. I know. You don't know a thing, Wolf. No reason can justify her actions. And don't you live in this false hope that she loves us. She is just a selfish rogue. No matter how much we love her, she will never love us. No, he loves us. I ignored him, knowing he will never understand. I made my way towards the pack grounds where my search team of 100 wolves was waiting. I need you to find me a girl in the age of 21 to 22 with blue eyes, black hair, fair skin. She is an orphan, a wolf, but no one must have seen her wolf. Whosoever matches this description is to be brought here to me safely. Am I clear? But Alpha, there must be so many girls who match this description. How will we find the one you are looking for? Simple. No one would have ever seen her wolf. Ask the girls to change into their wolfess. If they willingly do, then they are not her. She will smell like a wolf, but will not show her wolf. Find that girl. Yes, Alpha. They left and started the search. Once they bring the girls, I will find her from the thunder mark on her chest. It was unique just like her. I will find you, my little angel. Even if I have to turn this world for you, I will. After all, you are worth it. You deserved so much, but never got it. I will lay it at your feet once I find it. I will make you my queen, just like your bloodline demands you to be. But mate, my wolf again howled in pain. After the punishment, Ezra's wolf will die. She will only be a human then, and a human can't be a queen. We will reject her after that and make the little angel our queen. You inhuman bach! How can you do this to our mate? After what she did to me, I can surely do this to her. I loved her so much. In return, what did she give us? Betrayal. But still, I blocked him, not willing to listen to his cries any longer. Remembering our mate, I made my way towards the dungeons to meet her. As I entered the underground dungeons, darkness and loud cries of pain welcomed me. I made my way towards her cell, and as the guard saw me, he bowed down in respect. He opened the gate, and I was met with the back of one of the doctors. On feeling my presence, he turned around and stepped aside while bowing. There I saw her sitting on the cold cement floor with head supporting on the wall behind and arms chained to the silver chains on the walls. Her blue eyes were swollen with tears and her face as pale as a white sheet. She looked up at me and continued to stare. Your Highness, I am here for her wolfsbane dose. Can I? I nodded, and the doctor filled his syringe with a gray fluid. He went towards her and injected it into her arm. Her eyes were still fixed at me, and she didn't even flinch when the needle entered her skin. I still remember the good days we spent together. Those endless times we laughed together. Those endless nights we spent under the stars in each other's arms. These smooth black hair I used to twirl with my fingers and get lost in their fragrance. These blue eyes I used stare at whole nights. She became my world in those 3 months. But soon my world collapsed. The doctor left, leaving us alone. I made my way towards her and crouched down near her. Involuntary, my hands reached the fringes covering her face and tucked them behind her ears. Xavier will kill my wolf, pull ease save her. She hasten even fully developed Jayat. Her voice was hoarse from screaming last night. Pull easy, no, nigh, ow hate me because I keep you our dad, but I am still why armati ease. Shh, I said, placing a finger on her lips, silencing her. Her pleas were irritating. I continued to stare at her face, wondering, how was I the king of werewolves, deceived by her looks? How a mere girl like her was able to break a heart which newly learned how to beat for someone. How this girl was easily able to break thousands of dreams I thought for us. Her eyes were flooding with tears, but now I was not a fool to believe them. Next, I felt her tiny hands struggling with the silver chains. The chains were a little long, and she was able to stretch up her hand and touch me. As her fingers touched my arm, sparks started entering my body. I almost forgot how they felt like. It was addicting, but I also knew that all addictions are harmful for your body. Pain entered her body because of the wolfsbane, and she tightly held my shirt in her hands. Her eyes closed down, and she started taking long intakes of air. I tore her hands away from my shirt and stepped back to leave. P-E-A-C-Zav, op, this, I can't. I turned my back to her and made my way out of her cell, leaving her to deal with this alone. After all, one must suffer the consequences of one's own actions. 90% of times, things happen in our life because of our own choices, and her choices brought her here to die. Ezra's Pav. Darkness. The only thing surrounding me. Most people hate darkness, but right now, I can't help loving it. Maybe I'm getting depressed, I don't know, but this feeling of not knowing about anything around me is no longer scary. The door to my cell opened, and through the light entering via the door, I saw a tall man with blonde hair enter. How is my princess doing? Daniel. No, not him again. I bloody hate him more than anyone. He is a sadist, sick psycho who is one of the warriors of this pack. Every day he visits me and leaves me all bloody. The torture I was ordered to undergo is executed by his hands, but I can feel that this is not just his duty. He loved hurting me as if he has his own personal grudge with me. So, is my princess ready for today's torture? My previous wounds have not healed yet, and he was here to make new ones. He ordered the guards, and they pulled me out of my cell towards the torture room. I have never been there. I was punished in my cell only till now. As we neared the torture room, loud cries of pain were heard. Prisoners were already getting tortured there. Princess, you will love today's surprise. He opened up the door, and what I saw was hell on earth. Walls had splashes of blood. The room was stinking of urine and dried blood. Chains were hanging from the ceilings, and many rogues were tied to them. Sounds of leather belts striking with skin were echoing every second. Some were pleading, while some were too weak to make a noise. No women was there, and as I entered, everyone's eyes shifted to me. The tied rogues looked more dangerous than the guards. It looked like they haven't seen a female in ages. Some started growling at me, while others frantically moved in their chains to break them and attack me. I was scared. I had never been in such a situation before, where me being a female mattered much. But today, here I wished to be a male. I felt a cold breath on my neck as Daniel whispered in my ear. We will have a lot of fun today. But do you know what the best part is? Your mate is out of state, and he only ordered me to carry out my duty diligently. I shivered. Xavier being here gave me a sense of hope that I will not die till he is here. But knowing that he is out of state and Daniel can do anything with me scares me. Next, I know I was dragged towards the chains, and my hands were tightly tied, suspending my body in air. My limbs cried in pain, and it felt like they will break from their sockets. I was struggling with one pain when another sharp pain hit my back, making tears escape my eyes. 1, 2, 3. It continued, and I lost track of number. My back was long numb, but still I could feel wet blood dripping down. H. I managed to ask, and all of a sudden, the stinging pain stopped. I opened my eyes a bit to see him directly staring at me. His eyes were cold, and I could see his desire to kill me. When the only family you have is killed, and you can't do a bloody thing but cry and cry and cry, then, my dear princess, this thirst for your enemy's blood arises. But I didn't do anything to your family. Here you are mistaked, my dearest. He held my chin in his hands and forced me to look into his ETs. Your mother killed my parents. She murdered them in front of everyone, and no one said a word against her. You know why? Because she was the true mate to the king. She was Aleka Gray, and my mother was just a best friend to the king. She was just Jane, who died with the tag of a betrayer. Was called as a murderer's son my whole life. My father's was called the evil red-eyes wolf, and I was shunned by the entire werewolf society. But don't worry, I'll take full account of each and every tear I cried, and each and every time I was reprimanded. I'll color your skin in as many marks as my heart is tainted with. Each and every whip will make you realize what I went through. With this, another whip contacted my front, tearing the ragged clothes I was wearing. Blood oozed down from them, coloring my white clothes red. After 30 minutes, finally they stopped as a guard entered and whispered in Daniel's ear. Sir, this is for the degree of torture. You are not allowed to do this. If the Alpha finds out, he will not approve. This. My mind was hazy, but I could still understand what the guard spoke. Xavier's name was enough to stop him, and I was thankful for it. There was too much pain. Right now I was still numb, but I know few hours later each mark will burn as hell. I can't take this pain any longer. Please, Xavier, how long will I be punished? Please make it stop. But there was no Xavier here. He was far miles away, unaware of the extent of pain I am in. It was only me and my desire to live. The chains were unbounded, and my half-conscious body landed on the ground. I could see my black hair wet in blood. In front of me, I saw Daniel's black combat shoes. Slowly, the shoes got hazy, and black sports started filling my view until everything turned black and my body became limp. Xavier's POV. The court is adjourned to the first Saturday of next month. Till then, both the parties are required to arrive at a mutual negotiation, or else I will be forced to transfer 100 acres of this land as per my own evaluations. The Supreme Judge said, and like this 4-hour-long meeting was again postponed for the next 30 days. These court meetings are always very boring. This case was regarding the distribution of the area of Thunderpack territory we recently acquired. As I made my way towards my black Bentley, a female blocked my view. "Good evening, Your Highness," she said, trying to sound seductive, but she failed miserably. I continued to walk, ignoring her. She ran behind me, not understanding my lack of interest. "Your Highness, please, wait. I know someone you are looking for." I stopped suddenly, making her hit her head at my back and hiss in pain. I turned around and saw her rubbing her forehead. "You are looking for a girl with blue eyes and black hair, right?" "Yes, I am. If you know someone, kindly tell me, or else I will be leaving." "Hey, handsome, just wait on a minute. Actually, my eyes are actually blue. I am wearing contacts right now." I stepped closer to her. "So you mean to say you are the girl I am looking for?" "Bingo. Who else could? Do you know why I am finding her?" "Yes, of course. We were in love when we were kids, and then I was taken. I am finding her to make her my queen, and a leer like you can never be her. If you ever try to cross my path again, I'll make sure to put you behind the bars under the charge of deception and falsification." A scared look crossed her face, and she immediately bowed down, losing all the confidence she was showing me. Why a pole? "Oh geez, Your Highness." With this, I left towards my pack, ready to call of the day. As I entered my office, I was met with Eric Christopher, my beta, and also one of my only loyal friends. "Chris, any news for today? What did I miss?" Nothing much, just the usual. And yes, Alpha Duke called asking for a truce with our pack, which I straightforwardly objected to. "Any issued in the cells were the rogues coordinating?" I asked indirectly, trying to ask him about Ezra's being. Actually, you need to visit her once. She lost consciousness a few hours back. Her wounds never healed. It's like her wolf is completely out of the picture. And he is telling this to me now. I may be the one to throw her there, but still, I need to make sure she is alive. Bring me the doctor in charge of her." Within minutes, the doctor entered. "Mr. Steve, how much wolfsbane has been injected into her till now?" "It's around 10 milliliter till now, but it's not enough to kill her wolf. 50 milliliter of it is required to kill a wolf. This much dose will only block her nervous receptors from contacting her wolf." "Then why isn't her body healing?" "Actually, she was subjected to 4th-degree torture today." "What? Who did it?" "I don't know. Alpha, I was just called to treat her." I looked at Chris, and he too had a blank face. Someone goes and does whatever he wants, and these guys don't even know. I made my way towards the dungeons. "Alpha, wait, it's late. You can solve this matter tomorrow." "No, I can't wait. I need to see her." 4th-degree torture is the worst of all. I can't even imagine her suffering so much pain. Till 3rd-degree blood is not threatened, but 4th-degree is all about blood. As I entered her cell, my eyes only saw one thing: red. My footsteps stopped, afraid to see her in such a state. Her smiling face came in front of my eyes. Gathering enough strength, I moved closer to her. She was lying on the floor unconscious, her clothes torn, and through those torn patches, dried blood was visible. Her back was a different story. Not even a single space was left untouched. Red lines, dried blood was everywhere. She was breathing, but it was abnormal. 1 second her intakes increased, the other they were not there. "Get the team of doctors ready. She has to be operated immediately." Her face was the only part that was its natural color, still beautiful and untouched. I picked her up and made my way towards the doctor's room. She may have betrayed me. She may be murdered. but still, she was my mate. And I can't help but feel attached to her in a relation which is beyond words. In a relation which demands me to hate her, to punish her, to replace her, but still to never lose her. In a relation. It never began with me, nor did it ever end on me, because you, my mate, were its beginning, and you are the only end. You were the incarnation of the thunder wolf, while I was just the lightning accompanying the thunder. Xavier Black. Xavier's Pav. I never loved you. You were just a pawn in my game of revenge. I hate the blood flowing through you veins. I hate you. Words keep invading my thoughts. I toss around in my bed, unable to go to sleep. This is the same bed which we shared. The same bed on which her cherry blossom and peach fragrance used to linger. The same full moon view from the glass window we used to see cuddled together. Even after so many years. Even after sharing this bed with many other girls. Even after replacing her fragrance with stink of alcohol. She still remains. She remains in my mind, and I can't remove her from there. I got up from my bed and made my way towards the medical room. I need my answers. She has made me a shell of a person I was before. She has broken me into pieces non-fixable. She has made a fool of me, a fool of the Alpha King. I need to know why she did it. As I entered, I saw her thin body covered in gauzes. A machine was beeping near her every second, and numerous tubes were connected to her. Her chest was rising and falling slowly. I grabbed a seat and sat next to her. I felt relieved on seeing her chest rising and following. When for a second it took a few seconds longer for her chest to rise, an unknown fear entered my mind, but it was gone as she took another breath. I realized how my heart stopped for a second when her breath came few seconds late. It was clear. I was afraid to loose her. Ezra's Pav, I am tired. Tired of trying to move forward. Tired of living a life of an orphan, of a betrayer, of a murderer, a rogue, and now a prisoner. Can't all this mental and physical suffering end? Can't I just die? But what would Mom and Dad say? They wouldn't want this. They would want me to have a happy life with a loving mate and beautiful children. They would have wanted me to live. I opened my eyes. It was dark, but the monitors placed near me were showing some light. My heartbeat was visible on them, and I remembered that I was still alive. Why was I alive? How did I got here? My gaze shifted to the figure that sat next to me. Even in the dark, I could feel his eyes staring straight at me. We continued to stare. No words were exchanged, but his presence only was enough for me. Enough for keeping me sane. Enough for assuring myself that he still cared. Silence was broken when he asked me the question I was running from throughout my life. Why did you betray me, Ezra? His voice was broken. Desperation lingering in his words and sadness filled his eyes. How could I answer him? Just how could I tell him that my betrayal was backed by my revenge? He was never a part of my game, but was the one who got played in the end. How can I tell him that I am Ezra? The Ezra, daughter of Aleka and Aaron Alistair. The same girl he saved that night. The same girl who had the thunder mark. I can't reveal my identity. He can't know the secret my mother asked me to hide from everyone. Answer me, damn it. His cold and venomous rayor brought me out of my thoughts. I looked to see his peace long gone. He was standing inches away from me, his face murderous and aura deadly. Being the king of werewolves, any wolf would have crawled down on his feet in front of his power and authority. And I also admit that I was scared of him for the first time in my life. I never saw him like this before. Just now, I realized how much of a beast he is now. How true were the rumors that flowed around. He placed his hands on both sides of my bed, trapping me in between. I closed my eyes, not willing to see this monstrous side of him. His strong, addicting cologne surrounded me, and I stopped my breath to not get allured by it. My breath left my mouth when I felt his lips on my neck. His touch was sending a heating sensation at my sensitive spot, and I felt my legs move to adjust these heat waves entering my body. Tell me, Ezra, or else no one can stop me from doing what I plan to. No, he can't. He can't mark me. No, this can't happen. Marking means non-revocable binding of souls. It means start of heat on next full moon. It means consumerating our bodies after next 2 weeks. And it also means my complete dependence on him. It simply means being his mate in all respects or getting killed by rejection. No, I won't let him hold my life in hid palms and control it. I tried to push him back with the little strength I had, but all in vain. The veins on his forearms and biceps at his shoulders were flexing, and his upper body was caging me, making me fear his dominance over me. Exa. Ease. Don't do this. He chuckled, making me doubt his sanity. No, Ezra, I should have done this long time back. I should have made you submit earlier, only instead of waiting for you to be ready. I was a fool to care for you when you didn't. No, Xav, please, don't do this. By marking me, you will keep me dependent on you. I will die if you ever leave me. My soul died the day you betrayed me. I think you also deserve to know how it feels like. Xav, I love you. My love for you was always true, please. Please don't do this. As tears escaped my eyes and landed on the pillow, I felt him stop near the marking spot. Love disgusts me, and so do your words. With this, I felt his canines sink into my neck tenders. The pain was unbearable, and loud screams escaped my lips. His left hand muffled my screams, while his right hand held my neck in a position to get better access. Streams of tears soaked the pillow. My legs thrashed trying to bear the pain, but no matter what I did, the pain remained. His canines retraced, leaving a huge royal mark on my neck. As his hand left my lips, sobs break through. The pain subsided, but the realization of what he did broke me from inside. You should know who controls your life from now on. He traced his fingers along my teardrops. Save these for later. This is just the beginning of my revenge, my dear mate, Ezra. With this, he was gone, leaving me as a sobbing mess on the hospital bed with scarred body and broken soul. Ezra's POV. Few days passed, my health improved. Gauzes and bandages were removed and the pain vanished. The only pain that remained was that of his forceful marking. The mark itches, but still remains. Each day as I look in the mirror, I remember the day he did it. Seeing my condition, my punishment was reduced as of now. I was currently working as a maid inside his castle. I was cleaning his room with a sweeper in my hand when I saw him exit from the dressing room. A navy blue Armani suit fitted his body perfectly, and with long, confident steps he entered. He was fixing his watch on his wrist when he found me staring at him. I lowered my gaze and continued with my work, feeling embarrassed. He stood in front of the mirror and combed his soft, silky hair. "Come here," he ordered, and I made my way towards him, leaving the mob on the floor. "Yes?" He refused to look at me and continued to stare at the mirror behind me. "Clean these," he said, pointing towards his black shoes. But I. Hurry, I have a meeting to attend." "I won't." His hand stopped tying his tie, and he stared at me. "You are not in a position to refuse my orders, Ezra, or else the dungeon await you." "Why are you doing this, Xav? Just reject me. Kill me. What's the fun in that?" He grabbed my waist and pulled my body towards him, making me land on his chest. Tingles erupted, and the heat process started to begin. He retraced the mark on my neck with his lips and lingered kisses on it. Before I know, my back was slammed on the mirror behind, and his lips landed on mine. This was a foreign feeling I was experiencing after so many years. But I must admit it felt good. We were destined to be together, and all this felt right. But soon I was turned around. My face in front of the mirror, with his arm around my neck. "Can you see how ugly you look, my dear mate? These dull eyes, pale skin, stick-like figure. I think Moon Goddess made a mistake while choosing you." I looked up and realized that what he said was true. I was no match for him. But what to do? You can't complain to her. But no matter how ugly the toy is, you can still play with it, right? He said while kissing my cheek from behind. I felt disgusted, not at his words, but at myself. Why was I so ugly? Was he ashamed of me? Why was I so weak and dependent on others? Why was I such an evil person? "Your Highness, we found that girl," a maid said while running into the room. On hearing her voice, Xavier pushed me away from him like I disgusted him. "She is waiting in the hall, my lord. She completely matches your description." A wide smile appeared on Xavier's lips, one which I haven't seen in a long time. "I am coming," he said, and was going to follow the maid when I stopped him. "Who is she?" I wonder who was this girl who they all were looking for so desperately since last few days. He looked so happy. Did he love her? He turned around and replied with a wide smile. "Your next future queen." My world shattered right there and then. How? I am mate. Yes, you are my mate who will be used for mating while she will be my queen used for ruling my kingdom. How can you even say that? My voice raised, displaying the anger inside me. Don't worry, Ezra. My wolf needs you, and I can't deprive him of his pleasure with you. But as for me, she will be my everything. I can be your everything, Xavier. Why are you doing this? Please. I admit I was wrong back then, but please can't you forgive me? I dropped on his feet, pleading him for one last chance. I still love you. He didn't listen to me. He just turned his back at me. Just like I did when I crossed his borders and he asked me to stop. Why? Why I always end up alone? Was it too much to expect him to love me? Was it too much to ask for his love in return? Please, God, just end this, please. Or I might end it myself. I know I was having suicidal thoughts. I know it is wrong. It is a decision of a weak person. But when you are left alone in this world, when your parents leave you when they mean the world to you, when you have blood of hundreds of people on your hands, when your mate hates you, when he finds someone to replace you, when he considers you nothing but a game for amusement, a toy for him, you can't help but think about ending the game before he breaks the toy. You can't help but finish the game once and for all. You can't help but surrender. Surrender to his whims and demands. Surrender your entire being in his name to depart to the world feared and unknown by all. Xavier's Pav. She loves me. What a joke. She thinks I will believe her acting and trust her. What a manipulative and fake girl she is. What if she is saying the truth? My wolf replied in defense. He is emotional. I know she is his mate, and all but being blind in her love is unacceptable. He needs to the truth one day. As I made my way towards the hall, I saw a girl with jet black hair facing the windows. As she heard my footsteps, she turned around. My breath stopped for a second. The only word that came to my mind was, beautiful. Deep blue eyes were staring at me with innocence. I moved towards her, but as I took my first step, Ezra's face came in front of me. The day I first saw her eyes while I held her tiny body in my arms, the fear in her baby blue eyes, the mask that covered her face, the way she stepped back when I tried to remove her mask, the way she vanished just like she came. Automatically, I closed my eyes. My heartbeat accelerated thinking about our first meeting. Her face is embedded in my mind. I can't remove it no matter all the evil things she did. Your Highness, are you okay? I heard a small voice and immediately my eyes opened up. She looked concerned. Yes, it's nothing. Come have a seat. She debated but soon followed me to the couch. So, Miss? Aziza Thompson. Her name was also beautiful and rare. Ezra is better. My wolf again defended Ezra, but I ignored him. So, Azira, tell me about yourself. Life, your family, friends, hobbies. My parents were killed when I was 6. I grew up in an orphanage. I don't have much friends, just Amy, who is like my soul sister. What about your wolf? I asked, trying to get out the information I want. She hasn't appeared. I haven't told much people about it. Don't worry, you can share it with me. You can trust me. Of course, my lord, I cannot hide it from you. Actually, I don't think I have a wolf. I haven't talked to her ever. She looked genuine. She was not like those clingy girls who were willing to throw themselves at me. Azira, see, please don't mind. But I need to ask you something. It's personal, but please just don't doubt me. Actually, I am looking for someone and you completely match her looks and all. She seriously looked at me, listening to each word I was saying very attentively. I just need to know if you have a tattoo. On your chest. It's a rare one. As these words left my lips, she froze. Was she the one I was looking for? Did she remember who I was? Was she trying to hide her real identity? Azira? Oh, sorry, the sign. Yes, I have it. But how do you know? I just know. Can you show me, if that's okay with you? I asked, hoping that she says a yes. Till now, I was still a bit doubtful, but once she shows me that sign, I will know that she is her, that she is my angel. The angel I saved that night, my queen. I am sorry, my lord, but I am not comfortable showing my body. Skin to someone I don't know. I am sorry, but I can't, she said, lowering her eyes, her cheeks red with a blush. Wow, she really is innocent. Looking at her, I understand that she may not be comfortable with showing her skin, so I didn't force her. No one knew which sign I was referring to. If she knows that it is a thunder mark, then she is definitely her. It's all right. Can you at least tell me what that sign is, so that I can believe you? Not that I don't believe you now, but just for surety. Sure, my lord, it's a thunder mark, right above my heart. As these words left her lips, I couldn't control the joy I experienced. I engulfed her in my arms, happy to know that my angel was alive and safe. Oh God, I am really sorry. I should have never let you go. Thank God you are safe. You don't know for how long I have been searching for you. She was frozen as I continued to hug her, like my life was dependent on her. Her jasmine scent entered my senses, so pure and innocent. Her fragrance was strong as compared to Ezra's peach and blossom one. I couldn't help but compare them. It didn't throb my heart like Ezra's scent did. Instead, it did the complete opposite. It calmed me down to serenity. I pulled out from the hug and while holding her shoulders said, "Welcome to your palace, Aziza. From now on, you will be my queen." Her shocked look got replaced with a wide smile as she replied, "It will be an honor to be your queen, your highness." With this, I again engulfed her in a hug, afraid to loose my angel again. While the king was holding the other girl in his arms tightly, she was hiding behind the pillar and was feeling her insides break with each passing second. 1,000 needles pierced her heart as she saw her mate making someone other than her as his queen. She slid down the pillar she was leaning against, and soon sobs broke through her lips. Afraid that someone will listen to her, she placed her hands on her mouth, lowering the voice of her sobs from her broken heart. He was standing there, looking at his master plan being implemented to perfection. As the girl broke down in tears, he smirked, enjoying her pain. On the other hand, there stood the girl who he trained to perfection, the girl who was able to deceive the king, the girl who will bring both the king and his mate down. He knew what the king was looking for. He knew he searched for the girl with the mark, and he also knew the mark. Resurrection of the Thunderwolf will have the thunder mark. A book in the king's office says this, and he has well read all the historical books to know about this fact. The king thought no one knew this, but he was an exception. The exception was none other than his worst enemy. He folded his arms and enjoyed watching the beginning of his master plan. Ezra, I promise you will end your life yourself. I will make your life a living hell, and each day you will die watching your mate in someone else's arms. I have placed my ace, and your deck will shatter before you know it. Well done, Daniel, he said, patting himself. Bienvenido al infierno, novio. Welcome to hell, sweetheart. Working as a maid is not a child's play. My body is aching like I ran a marathon, and my feet are killing me. Each day I was handed a list containing 30 around tasks, and until I completed them, I was denied of any food to feed my grumbling stomach. I was currently on my day's 10 the task of cleaning Xavier's room when I saw him. He was ignoring me like I never existed. And ignorance was the worst form of pain anyone can give to other, especially when that someone was your world once. As I pulled his sheets to change them, I heard him sigh while looking at his phone. I continued trying to feel indifferent of his presence, but my heartbeat told me that this was impossible. I heard a knock on the door. He looked at the door, then at me, signaling to open it for him. I opened the door to see Aziza standing there in a short mini dress. Her face was caked with makeup, her small lips highlighted by the blood-red lipstick she wore. She looked like a model with her curves and figure. She was naturally beautiful, and by doing makeup, she looked perfect. Perfect for him. They were compatible in this respect. Ah, is Xavier inside? On hearing her voice, he left his phone and came towards me. I stepped aside, leaving his way. His eyes never met mine. They were fixed on her the whole time. He adored her, and I could see this in his eyes. I think they overdid the makeup a bit. I look horrible. She looked shy and stared at the ground, not meeting his eyes. Yes, they did. I wanted to say feeling envious all of a sudden, but I controlled myself. I looked up and found myself staring at a mirror in front of me. Who am I to say this to her? At least she is beautiful. You are not even that, Ezra. I thought, looking at my face. I looked sick. I got more uglier in these days. My eyes were lifeless blue. Dark circles made them look dead and dull. My body looked as thin as a stick because of not getting proper two meals per day. And the worst part was my skin. It has lost all its glow, and anyone could assume me to be a beggar. I was never the most beautiful girl for whom boys fought for claims. I was just average, but now I looked worse than average. I turned around, not wanting to look at the mirror any longer. It showed me the harsh reality. You look beautiful. His exact words made me look up at him. I thought he was telling me, but you always hear what you want to hear. His eyes were fixed at her, while mine flooded with newly formed tears. He engulfed her into a hug and started kissing her in front of me. His hands rested on her waist while her hands messed with his hair. They didn't stop. Her moans made it difficult for me to stay there. A new kind of pain entered my body, like needles piercing my skin. My body backed against the wall as I closed my eyes. You can leave. He spoke to me after 2 months, the first time after she came here, and this is what he said. I nodded and moved my shaky legs towards the door. He continued what he left again, ignoring me. As I was going to close the door and leave, she said, I love you, Xavier. My hands stopped on the door handle, but when I heard his reply, I closed the door. Love you too, my angel. Tears flowed like waterfall. My stomach churned with pain, while my legs trembled, not able to hold on my weight. This pain was too much. I need to do something. With shaky legs, I made my way towards the medical room. I pushed my body forward while holding onto the walls. Finally, on reaching the room, I ransacked all the drawers looking for it. Finally, I found it placed in the strong dose section. This was my only pain reliever, my only medicine. I filled up the syringe with the wolfsbane dose. I don't how, but my body has grown accustomed to it. Earlier, they used to inject me with it every day, and I felt numb. I wanted to feel numb right now, numb from all this pain. As I inserted the syringe into my arm, I felt the liquid enter my bloodstream. This dose was stronger than my earlier ones, but I know I needed it now. The veins in my arms got highlighted. They stuck out as the thick liquid made its way through them. I started feeling numb, just like I wanted. The mirror in the medical room again showed me my ugly, dull face. I moved towards it and touched my reflection in the mirror. My eyes stared back at me. I felt like I was looking at someone else and not at me. The eyes looked dead and haunting. While I was staring at them, the blue iris changed to black discs. I stepped back now, afraid of my own self. I was hallucinating for sure. My face in the mirror was getting hazy as those cold black eyes kept staring at me. The pain in my chest subdued, and soon I found myself falling into oblivion. As my body landed on the floor, I felt all the energy leaving me just like I wanted. This was a temporary solution to my pain, but was better than nothing. She laid unconscious on the hospital floor with a syringe in one hand. Her breathing was regular, but her body was not. The place where she injected the syringe was turning blue. The veins on her arms were shining with blue color, and the thunder mark on her chest was shining with a bright blue light. The blue lights vanished as soon as they came, but they did give a glimpse of the future. She was returning, resurrecting once again, but this time she will not be the one giving a sacrifice. It was time the humans submitted to the wolf. She will get her freedom. The wolf needed to stretch her legs after so many years. She needs to be free forever, and she will get it even at the cost of the human's sanity. After all, only one can survive. And now was her turn to thrive. I woke up to realize that it was dark outside. The lights to the infirmary were off, meaning no one came here while I was out. I tried to lift myself off the floor, holding to the nearby shelf. My legs were still numb from the effects of the drug, but I managed. As I made my way out of the room, I was met with a deadly silence. It must be very late, I thought. I turned the corner, and my body collided with something, making me to fall down. I looked up to see Eric looking at me with a look I couldn't decipher. Eric Christopher Jones, the beta of this pack, the man who is Xavier's right hand. It's been so long since I talked to him. I still remember the first time I saw him fighting in the school arena, the first time his eyes locked with mine and the girls around me started shouting like crazy. I remember him protecting me when Xavier told him that I was his mate. He is a silent person. He observed everything but never intervened unless asked to. He is loyal to his alpha, and I respected him for that. He never spoke to me much, and I didn't expect him to now. But when I lifted myself and was going to leave, his words stopped me. You will die soon. I turned around and looked at him, staring at me with no expression on his face. A small smile came on my face as I stepped near him. Isn't that what you wanted since the day I met you? Silence. He kept staring into my eyes, and it felt like he was sad looking at me. You are broken. Your eyes look dead, and your aura is depressing. They are symptoms of approaching death on the rejection of a weak wolf. I may have hated you, but I never wished for you to die. After all, you were the first girl who defied my order in my own land when I first met you. My alpha may have chosen his new queen, but remember that the ties of goddess are stronger than ties of titles. Keeping sanity on the verge of insanity is the trait of strong, but defying the clutches of insanity and making your opponent insane is a trait of the strongest. With this, he left, leaving me trying to understand the deep meaning of his words of wisdom. He was not a bad person, unlike most of the people here, and these few words he spoke proved this. He cared even if his alpha didn't. And this made me a bit happy. I did what he said. I maintained my sanity till now, but for how long? How long will I have to watch them loving each other in front of me? How long will I have to suffer those pains while they enjoyed their nights? For how long will these injections of wolfsbane numb my pains? Everything has a breaking point, and my saturation point is today. I was sitting in the attic of the pack house. Empty bottles of alcohol surrounded me, and I reeked of sweat and alcohol. My face had dried tears because of crying all night. The clothes I wore were 3 days old, showing stains of mud and tears. I don't know the countless times my white t-shirt has been dried with tears, with new ones soaking it once again. My red, puffy, dull eyes were fixed onto the small box TV, which was viewing the live telecast of the Werewolf King Xavier Night ceremony. The king is yet to make appearance while the guests have arrived. I am standing here in the ceremony grounds with Mr. Smith, aka the Alpha of Alpine Pack, with me. So, Alpha Smith, can you tell us something about our new queen? We are all very eager to meet her. Well, I only met her once during a dinner, but she did left a good impression. I mean, who won't love her? She is smart, intelligent, sweet, and beautiful. Xavier is a lucky man, I must say. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for giving us your valuable time. So here reporting live from the ceremony grounds is Shelley on News Wolfline. I have been here in the attic since last 24 hours, drowning in my sorrows away from my mate's happy world. And you know what the worst part is. No one even bothered to search for me. No one cared enough to see I was missing. Not that there are many people who cared for a criminal maid like me, but still I expected someone to. Even he didn't care where I was. I guess he was busy planning his honeymoon plans with her. Who was I to him anyways? Just a cursed mate. A disgrace. A murderer. I gulped another bottle of alcohol, allowing it to burn my throat. I always used wolfsbane to relieve my pain, but not today. Today I wanted to feel it all. To feel it till I reached my breaking point, till I surrendered. But before that, I must do one thing. I have to give it a last try. Even if I have to beg, I have to do it. I made my way downstairs with stumbling feet. As I entered the corridor, bright light entered my eyes, making me blind for a minute. I couldn't stand not knowing anything around me. I landed on the red carpet and started laughing at myself. I guess alcohol did work on wolves. But am I a wolf? No. That's why I feel drunk, because I am a human. I am not a wolf. That's why alcohol worked on me. I lifted myself up, giggling like crazy, shouting, Congratulations. Congratulations to everyone. King got his queen. People were looking at me with disgust, while some even shielded their noses from me. I walked through them, stumbling here and there, while they pointed fingers at me. Ooh, who is she? How come she is in the pack house? She looks like trash, low lives. She is mad, I guess. Ignoring them, I made my way towards his room. Where is it? The golden door? Ah, yes, I got it, as I opened his door and entered. There he was, the king, Your Majesty, standing in front of the full-length mirror, fixing his white shirt. As he heard the door close, he looked through the mirror at me. Oh, God! He looked handsome as ever, an epitome of perfection. All my craziness vanished as I looked at him. My dead heart started beating again, and my eyes stinged with tears. His face held shock, like he couldn't believe what he saw. He turned around and looked at me from head to toe, his eyes scanning me. No words were exchanged, and the tension could be cut with a knife. Soon his silence got replaced by fury as he stepped towards me. "Ezra, what the hell is this? If you think I will pity you by seeing you in this state and cancel this ceremony, then you are dead wrong. Stop with this drama and go freshen yourself up. I need you to serve the guests." I laughed. I couldn't control myself. I should cry, but I am laughing. I think this is what verge of insanity felt like. I was not going to stop laughing, and sensing this, he held my shoulders tightly and started shaking me. "Just shut the hell up, Ezra." "Why? You don't want to see me happy? I am happy. Let me enjoy. My mate is getting married. I should be happy, shouldn't I?" He kept silent, looking into my teary eyes. "Just leave me alone. I don't want to see you," he said, leaving my shoulder and turning his back on me. "I am ugly, ain't I? That's why you don't want to see me, right? She is beautiful in all respects. You love her because she is beautiful, right?" He didn't reply, and I knew what I was saying was true. "I am sorry for what I did to your dad. But haven't I suffered enough for it? I have been tortured, starved, stabbed, and endured day and nights of torture in the cells. Isn't it enough? Just take your revenge. Do whatever you want. Punish me all you want. But please don't do this. Don't marry her." I was now at his feet, begging for the little future we may have. Begging for my sanity. With each passing second, my hope died. He didn't reply. He stood there stoic at his full height, turning away from me. "Xavier, I swear if you have even an ounce of love left for me, just reject me. At least I will be free from your bindings, free from you." He turned around and pinned me to the wall behind. "I will never ever reject you. Do you get that? You, as I said earlier, will be staying here, in this house, with me." My eyes burned with hate. He is selfish. He only wants me because his wolf needs me. "No, I will not. Go hell with you and your queen." I pushed him back, but he didn't budge. I continued to push him, kick him, but he didn't move. Getting irritated of my attempts, he held my hands on the wall, restricting all my body movements. "What the hell is wrong with you? Are you insane?" he shouted at me. "Yes, I am insane. I am mad. Can't you see that you made me this? You are indifferent, while I am on the verge of insanity." He left my hands, making me slide down along the wall, his face blank, yes, transfixed at mine. "You know why is it so? It's because you never loved me as much I loved you. Your love was fake. You are fake. I never said a word I didn't meant, but you are too blind to see that. Maybe you were never able to understand who I truly am. You never knew me, neither do you know me now. Now get up and leave for good. I have a marriage to attend." He turned around away from me. I picked myself up. I have had enough of it. I have been humiliated to the extent I never knew. It's time to leave now. Leave for good. You may not love me, Xavier, but this heart will always beat for you. You will be the first and last person I loved. May she be your everything I couldn't. As I made my way out, I turned around one last time to look at him. He still had his back toward me. I bid my farewell with the words I longed to tell him. Pain, no more. Happiness, no more. Cries, no more. Giggles, no more. The only thing left is a place in this heart which will remain void with reminiscence of the past. Goodbye, Xavier. May you get all that makes you happy. May you get my share of happiness as well. Congratulations in advance. Remember to be cautious. She may not be who you were looking for. The one you met that night might not be willing to come to you to set ties. Marks have secrets, and they are kept hidden. Trust but verify to correct your omissions. With this, I turned around to do something I never thought I would, to end this legacy of the Thunder Wolf. You were my sanity, Xavier. Without you, I was bound to fall into depths of insanity. Xavier's Pav. Chris, keep an eye on Ezra. See that she doesn't leave. I mind-linked him. Yes, Alpha. I will never let her leave, no matter what happens. She belongs here with me, and even if I have to put her back into the dungeons, I will do it. I have ordered Chris to watch over her since last 3 days. I know how many bottles she drank and how many tears she cried while sitting in the attic. But I don't care. When she appeared before me, only then did I saw how broken she was. Her eyes had large dark circles around them and were red with crying. Her body lost toned curves, and she looked bony. She looked like she was dead. I couldn't control my anger, and I screamed at her for making me pity her state. I know she will try to leave now. Her last words proved it. But I also know she will not survive even 100 mir outside my pack's territory in this state. She has my mark, and today is full moon. Her heat will be maximum today, and it will attract all the male rogues to her. Her torturous death is final if she crosses my border. Alpha, she is 1,000 meters from the eastern border. And I think her heat is starting. She has slowed down, but is determined to cross the border. Make sure she doesn't leave. Use silver chains, wolfsbane, whatever you want. I don't care. I just want her locked in her cell before the ceremony starts. Got it, Alpha. Don't worry. I know I can trust him. I fixed my coat in the mirror and turned around to leave for the ceremony. My angel was waiting for me there. Don't you dare marry someone else. You marked her Xavier. How can you? My wolf was giving me a headache since last night. Explaining to him was useless. I blocked him and moved towards the ceremony ground. With each step I took, my mind drifted to her. What if she crosses the border? What was she saying about me mistaking the mark? How does she knows about the mark? Was I being too harsh with her? Did she actually love me? Too frustrated, I banged a glass vase near me, making the shreds pierce into my palm. The wound healed within seconds. I controlled my thoughts and made an entry. Bright flashes of cameras welcomed me, followed by the guests who bowed in respect at my arrival. As I stood on the stage, I could see thousands of high-rank werewolves welcoming me. I passed all of them a smile and ordered the speaker to start the ceremony. Aziza was called for, and everyone turned around to see her. She looked just like an angel, with white gown tracing the red carpet she walked on. Her face was covered in a veil, and it partly showed her beautiful face. I don't know how, but my mind has something else to show me. It made me imagine how Ezra would have looked wearing this beautiful white dress. I closed my eyes, angry at myself for having these kind of thoughts. We welcome before you our future queen, Miss Aziza. Everyone cheered as she came near me. I went forward and held her hand in mine. She tightly gripped it as she was afraid to fall because of her heavy long dress. Hundreds of flashes were heard and seen. People were going crazy waiting for their king's ceremony. News reporters were constantly trying to move ahead to get a better view as the bodyguards blocked them. As the priest started with his prayers, everyone settled down. There was pin-drop silence all around, except the priest's prayers. In between this silence, I got a mind link that moved the ground under my feet. I wanted this ceremony to end peacefully. Everything should be perfect, as I have an image to hold in front of the entire werewolf world. But soon, all my plans and wishes screwed when I heard Chris' words. Xavier, I don't know how. She escaped from me, and instead of leaving, she is coming your way. She has the entire bottle of our strongest dose of wolfsbane. She even stabbed me with the knife. I should be happy that she didn't leave, but I don't know why I was not. I was having a feeling that something bad was going to happen, and the sudden striking of thunder in clear sky made it sure. I sensed her heat first. It was getting closer to me. Stop it! Before the priest could continue, a loud voice made him stop. Everyone turned around. There stood my mate with an aura I never felt before. It was not strong, but daring. It enveloped her heat smell inside it and made every male wolf drawn to it. But no one dared to take a step towards her. Her eyes were fixed on me. There was no fear in them, no love. Only one thing was present, and that was desperation. Desperation to be loved. She took small steps towards the stage. Her muddy feet stained the red carpet with her footsteps. People looked at her like they looked down on an omega, but she was unaffected by it. She stopped at 10 feet's distance from me. The guards moved towards her, but she held out the bottle of a silvery liquid in her hands. Don't you dare touch me, or I will kill myself. The guards looked at me, and I ordered them to step back immediately. What are you doing, Ezra? Please don't do this. Oh wow, so many people are here. My apologies. Everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am Ezra, the murderer of your previous king, the betrayer of my mate. I am sorry I'm interfering like this. My apologies to all, but before I go, I just wanted to see him once, to see my king once. Before she could continue, she fell on the ground, clutching her stomach in her hands. Another wave of heat traveled in the air, making even the top-ranked wolves lose their control. The male wolves howled, but no one dared to step near her. My legs automatically moved towards her, but when I was just few feet away, my chest burned with an unknown pain. Just let loose, Ezra. I am here. Just let go, the heat, don't control it. She's screaming, making my insides burn with pain. Her face held so much pain. Tears flowed continuously. I felt so helpless. I couldn't go near her to relieve her pain. Her screams continues. She was now down on her knees. Everyone pitied her state. Their eyes held sympathy for her. Her pain was unbearable. Heat pain is always unbearable. I thought that this is just a matter of time. Once the heat reduced, she will be all right. But I was proved wrong when she looked at the bottle in her hands. No, Ezra, you are not so weak. Don't do this. She looked at me through her teary eyes. Her lips, which were pressed in pain, turned upwards into a small smile. No, I know what she was going to do. Ezra, no, don't do this. I screamed at her. I tried to move towards her, but the pain in my stomach intensified. What was happening? I haven't suffered this kind of pain before. By Xavier Black is pain. I want to be alive. Ved. No, please, let me go. No, don't. V and will always via you. With this, she gulped the entire liquid. The empty bottle landed on the carpet, followed by her body. Within seconds, all the aura and pains ended. Deadly silence followed. I managed to move towards her on my shaky legs. As I reached her and held her face in my hands, my body froze. Her blue eyes were turning silver. Her face was turning cold as ice, and her blue veins were turning silver. Antidote! Get me the antidote, damn it! Hurry! I screamed. I checked her pulse, and my hair stopped for a second. It was gone. Ezra, no. Ezra, please wake up. You can't do this. Get the hell up, Ezra! Get up! I was shaking her, rubbing her hands to warm them, kissing her lips to revive her, but all in vain. The doctor appeared with the antidote and injected it, one after the other. But my hair knew it was too late. She was gone. Teardrops landed on her face one after the other. No longer sparks ignited when I touched her. She was gone. I killed her. I looked down again at her. I pulled her up, and the shoulder of her worn-out loose too fell down. Her chest had some kind of a tattoo on it. I had spent multiple nights with her, but we never mated. It was her wish to mate after our marriage. Her tattoo was visible to me for the first time, but it was not a normal tattoo. My fingers automatically touched it, and as I traced it, my mind remembered it. The feel of touch was just like it was 20 years back. She was the one. Teardrops landed on her thundermark. Blue eyes, black hair, wolf never seen. She was my angel. Oh God, what have I done? My cries turned into pleads. Please, God, please save her. I promise, I never hurt her. Please punish me, not her. Again, my fingers touched the thundermark. I was lost in her thoughts, oblivious of my surroundings. Her eyes, her smile, her last words. I love you, Ezra, I love you so much. I said, crying, but I was too late now. Alpha, the antidote is not working. Her heart has stopped. She is no more. Next, I know I pushed the doctor so hard that he went flying towards the rows of tables and chairs. Don't you dare say that. She is alive. Ezra, wake up. I know you can hear me. Wake up. I felt a hand on my shoulder, but refused to look up. Xavier, just shut the hell up, all of you. Get lost from here. I hugged Ezra again, afraid that they will take her away from my. I pressed my face in her neck and inhaled the slight vanilla fragrance that lingered. It gave me peace. I felt like I was in heaven. I again looked into her eyes, and the silver in them told me the truth again and again. She was no more. My hand still rested on her mark. Please, come back! I felt something under my fingers. I pulled myself back to see that there was something under my hand that was pressed on her thunder mark. I blinked my eyes twice to see a clear view through my watery eyes. A bright blue light traced the mark. It appeared to be like actual thunder. I lifted my fingers and thought that I was hallucinating, but soon the light started spreading. The veins in her body shined with the same blue light, and everyone stood shocked, unable to believe nature's magic. A loud thunderclap was heard, followed by thunderous roars. Hailstorms started in this region where it never rained. The blue light continued to spread. I looked at her face, not able to believe what was happening. Then all of a sudden, her silver eyes flowed with same blue light, and I found those beautiful blue eyes staring straight at me once again. The only difference being that the love filled in them was now replaced by so much coldness that even the king of werewolves was scared of the strength of his own mate. "Ezra, are you okay?" The king asked, afraid of his mate, as he looked into her blue eyes. Her eyes were a mixture of silver and blue, beautiful but very deadly. She remained silent. His hands held her face, but her face was void of any emotion. It was like she couldn't hear what he was saying. She stopped looking at him and lifted herself up. The king moved forward to help her, but she held up her hand, asking him to stop. "Ezra! Ah! Please! I didn't! Ah! Jay! Us tell me you are okay?" Silence. "Ezra?" The king again asked with eyes full of worry. Everyone around were looking at them. The media was going crazy, trying to record something no one has ever seen before. The blue light her veins emitted, and the silver blue eyes that looked at them, was indeed most magical thing they had ever seen. But little did they knew that this was just the silence before the storm. The lightning before the thunder was visible in the sky, but they all were engrossed in those silver blue eyes to see it. The king moved forward to touch her. She remained still like a robot with no emotions. As the king's hand was going to touch her, a very cold voice made him stop. "She is dead." 3 simple words. And his whole world collapsed. This was not her voice. Instead, it was a cold voice which could chill your bones. As the king looked at her, unable to believe what she said, she stepped closer to him and touched his shivering hands. They were so cold that goosebumps appeared on his arms. No sparks were felt. Neither did her touch felt like it did before. She was not her. Ezra was dead. "Whoa, oh, are you, then?" One of the bystanders asked, gathering enough courage. She turned around and moved towards the person. On seeing her approach, he started shivering with fear and cold. With each step she took, he moved back. When his back collided with a tree, his scared eyes looked into her cold ones. She held his neck with one hand, not applying any pressure, but it was enough to make him hold his breath and close his eyes. "I am your salvation. I am the one who everyone runs from, the ugly truth of life, your death." With this, his entire body turned blue within a matter of seconds. No painful screams, no struggle for survival. Plain, simple, peaceful death, with a touch of her hands. People stepped back further, afraid of this thing. Some even started running back. Within seconds, a chaos was created. The media reporters were still there, catching everything live. No one dared to step in her close vicinity except for one person. The king. He couldn't believe his loving mate just killed a person in cold blood. She couldn't be her, he thought. She looked around to see him walking towards her, not afraid like others. He held her shoulders in his arms. "Ezra, this is not you. You can't do anything like this. I know you. Please, I know I was at fault. I was the worst mate. I hurted you. I don't deserve you. I never understood you. I never knew your reasons, but please. She is dead and will never come back. And for me, you are no different than anyone here." With this, she moved towards him and placed a finger on his shoulder. As soon as she touched him, a blue light of electric current traveling inside his body. He fell on the ground near her feet and held his shoulder with his other hand. "Your Majesty!" The guards shouted and ran towards him. Without his command, bullets were fired towards her. "No! Stop!" He shouted, afraid that they will hurt her, but he was too late. The bullets pierced her skin. What everyone saw was not what they expected. In place of blood, blue light flowed from the holes the bullets created. Within seconds, the bullets came out of her wounds and fell on the ground, leaving the skin healed, as if it was never touched before. The guards with guns stepped back, afraid of this beast in front of them. But the beast couldn't let them go unharmed. The blue light spread from her body, and as it touched the people in its perimeter, electric shocks were felt. People all around her were lying at her feet at her mercy. Gone were the recordings and the recorders recording them. When silence prevailed once again, she made her way out of the ceremony grounds. The king looked at his mates retreating back, but was too weak to stop her. His arm was losing its color, and his eyes were turning red with tears of pain. Soon he could no longer endure this pain, and his eyes closed down as first drops of rain fell on him. The raging storm continued for next few days. The busy life came to a standstill. As everyone stayed at their homes, every night on hearing the roaring thunder, they feared the beast's arrival. All doors and windows were locked, and no one stepped out of their houses. TV channel were working, telling them how bad the situation was. The king was sitting in his chamber, surrounded by his top-position men. His arm was bandaged, and his eyes were fixed on the lady in the TV. A typhoon of a tremendous speed of 250 kilometers per hour hit the eastern coast of Blood Red Pack. The building glasses shattered under its velocity, and hundreds of trees were uprooted. Death toll has reached 120, and the winds are still not calming down. Now moving to the Western Pac territories, hundreds of thunder strikings were seen on a single night. The strikes lightened the dark night. It did look beautiful, but it was severely deadly, taking the lives of hundreds of people. The blue beast, everyone is saying, is the reason for it. She was last spotted 3 days back in King's grounds, and since then, there has been no trace of her. I am Chloe Roadster reporting from outside the King's Palace on Packwolf News. We will be back shortly. Your Majesty, whole packs are getting wiped out. It feels like it is the end of the world, one of the men said to the king. Xavier didn't reply. His eyes were still fixed on the TV, not bothered to answer any questions. Alpha? Someone again asked, but was again followed by silence. Suddenly, the king stood on his feet and ordered while moving out of the castle into the howling winds outside. Chris, I hold you accountable till my absence. Get my car ready and don't stop looking for her. Report me if you get some news. Chris blocked Xavier's way. Xav, you can't leave in this condition. Also, it's very dangerous outside. Please let me come with you. No, Chris. I have to do this alone. This was my fault, and only I can stop it. After all, she is still my mate. Just be careful, and let me know when you find her. The king nodded and grabbed his court and keys to go towards the eye of this raging storm. To his mate's wolf, to the blue beast called the Thunder Wolf. Xavier's Pav. I was going down the road not knowing where it went. My mind was preoccupied with thinking where she was. My wolf was in pain since the second Ezra bid her farewell to me, her last words being how much she loved me. I was a fool to not realize who she was. She was always there, but I was too blind to see it. Now I knew her reasons for killing my dad, for hating royals, for hating me, and why wouldn't she? We attacked her happy world and destroyed her world first. We became monsters in greed of power and position. I still remember that day I first met her. I did save her that day, but that was the only good I did in my entire being. I took away her everything and accused her of destroying me when in fact I was the destroyer. 18 years. How each and every minute was a struggle for her, and how I made it worse. My knuckles turned white because of the strong grip I was having on the steering. The words I spoke, the torture she endured, all kept breaking my insides. I banged my hands on the wheel, getting frustrated, when suddenly my car lost its balance. I applied the brakes, and the car came to a screeching stop. I closed my eyes and rested my head on the wheel. Drop by drop, my tears of pain landed on my thighs. I am sorry, Ezra. I am so damn sorry! My chest was getting constricted with the weight of guilt in my heart. Then suddenly my soul showed me a way that will lead me to her. I shifted the gear to 1 and pressed the accelerator. Within few minutes, I was standing there where we first met. The lake inside the forest. There was a deadly silence over there. Not even a single leaf was moving, and everything felt dead. This was the place where everything started, and I don't know why, but I felt that this place only will make us meet again. I leaned my back against the same tree and closed my eyes. Ezra, where are you? Minutes passed, hours passed. Now it was the break of dawn. The lake in front of me felt so peaceful. I wish I deserved the same peace. My feet started moving towards the water. It felt like the lake was calling for me, asking me to touch and feel its serenity. As my body entered the cold water, my disturbed mind calmed down. Its coldness made me numb. and it felt good, like I was finally getting punished for what I did to her. I stepped further. Slowly, I felt my face going underwater. There was a heaviness under the water. My eyes, body all felt heavy. I looked around to see long plants and mosses in the deep. Blue color prevailed around me, and I wished to stay here. I couldn't hold my breath any longer, and my lungs were ready to explode, but still I wanted to be here, at peace with nature, in depths of water. Alpha, we couldn't locate her, but the storms in both the packs are calming down. I got a mind link, but it didn't mattered. I lost her, and she was never coming back. Her wolf was a monster, and she will never let Ezra live. She will use my Ezra's body and leave nothing of her. I wanted to feel Ezra pain, so I stayed underwater even when my lungs protested. As I closed my eyes, I imagined Ezra's happy face, and I felt like staying here only, with her away from this world. I opened my eyes and I could see her figure inside the water. She was floating under the water with me, looking at me with her loving blue eyes. I lifted my hand to touch her, and she smiled at me. "Ezra, pleasey, come back," I whispered in my mind, and as if she heard me, she offered me her hand. I moved forward to touch her hand, but as soon as I was going to touch it, she pulled it back and giggled at me. "Ezra, pleasey," I pleaded, and she started going back. I tried swimming towards her, but I felt like I was paralyzed. I couldn't move, and she again drifted farther away from me. "Ezra! Ezra! Wait!" I was screaming. Then suddenly I felt two arms grab me from behind, but till then I was not able to breathe, and the water entered my system. I was pulled onto the ground, and I coughed till my lungs could breathe in some air. Once my breathing was normal, I looked around to see myself on the ground next to the lake. An old man was there staring at me. "You are all right, my son?" I nodded, not able to speak with my aching throat. I looked around to see that there was no one there other than us. "I saw you struggling in the water, so I decided to help." "Child, why did you go into the lake if you don't know how to swim?" he questioned with concern in his eyes. His eyes were dark shade of blue, and even with his wrinkled skin and white hair, I could tell that he must be a very handsome and well-built man when he would be young. He still had strength to save me when he himself could barely swim. He must have been a warrior or so, I thought. "The Anku, sir, for saving me, actual, why I know how to swim. It's just, son. Suicide is never a solution to anything. No, sir, I didn't intend to, but I don't know how. I just wanted to see her. I hurted her so much, and I just can't forgive myself for it. Now, I am hallucinating about her. Without her, I am going crazy. I don't know what to do?" The man smiled at me and placed his hand on my shoulder. "Mates are the most precious gift. Son, you can pretend to hate them, but you never truly do. You can hate yourself, but not her. She is as incomplete without you as you are without her. You see this weather, how it was calm few minutes back, and now how fast the winds are. These are also the howls of a mate, a calling. No one believes me, but I was seeing her with my own eyes. Longing for her mate while crying endless tears into this lake. Just like you, she also tried to kill her, but she was not able to. You know why? Because she hoped he will come back, and today I see that indeed her hope was not wasted. He did come here today searching for her." My eyes held shock. Was he talking about Ezra? Did she usually come here? Did she even try to kill herself? Was her name? "I don't know her name, my child, but I do know that she was longing for you. She said the day she will die, he will come here and search for her, but she would be already gone. She said the winds will stop and all the leaves will fall, showing a new beginning. She said to tell you that no matter where she will go, this place will always be hers. You can come meet her here whenever you remember her. After all, this was the place she first met you." I was on my knees with endless tears falling on the ground. My cries were getting louder, and my wolf was ready to come out. He wanted to punish me for what I did, and for once, I also wanted him to. After all, I deserved this. "Son, I feel that she is still here. It's just that she can't contact you. Just look around you, and you will know." I looked around and realized that the winds blowing made all the leaves surround me in a circular manner, like they were engulfing me to soothe me. The water in the lake looked a lot more blue, like blue lights were being emitted by the water. The old man passed me a reassuring smile. She is here, son, watching you, telling you she is here with you. I found an unknown courage inside me and got up on my feet. Don't worry, Ezra, your mate is coming. You can't die unless your wolf defeats me. The thunder wolf may have power of thunder, but I have power of love. With this, he was ready to face the thunder with a disastrous storm inside. A storm that will either destroy the thunder to bring rain or die getting crashed by its own winds. So let the storm begin. Endings are meant to be happy. And if there is no happiness, it is not the end. Was this my end? I thought as I was lying on the forest floor, too weak to rise and too painful to move. My hands were covered in my own blood and my clothes drenched in it. My vision was going hazy with the amount of blood I was losing, but I was still trying to keep my eyes open. I wanted to see those blue eyes, even if they had hatred for me. I wanted to feel her touch, even if it killed me. Is this love? Is this the extent of love I have for her? Is my own life nothing compared to her? If it is, then I must say that love destroys you, kills you, but still makes you the most happy person on this earth. I could have lived without her. I could have left her to deal with her own wolf. I could have replaced her with some other girl and had pups to live a happy life. But no, love destroyed me. It bought the king of werewolves at his knees, lying at the mercy of his own mate's wolf. It made me come here to die. But if you ask me if I regret coming here, my answer will be simply no, because, as Olaf said, some people are just worth melting for, and my Ezra is one of them, of his own mate's wolf. 15 minutes before. The storm was calm now, but the destruction at its trail was enough to give a hint of Ezra's wolf's power. As I made my way towards the center, a burnt clearing welcomed me with hundreds of years-old trees uprooted, burnt grass, and smell of smoke. I sensed a presence behind me, and before turning only I knew who it was. A voice cold as ice sent shivers down my spine. Who are you? When I turned, I saw those ice-blue eyes staring at me. Ezra, please come back. I know you can hear me. Please control your wolf. I know you will never destroy so many lives. You are humane. I waited for her response, but it never came. Instead, she started moving towards me with a scrutinizing look, like she knew me. My heart started beating faster with every step she took. You think she can control me? Kid, I told you she is dead. The second she killed herself, she gave me her full control. I now control her body as well as her soul. How can she say that? No, she is not dead. No, a wolf can never control us. You are lying. She is not dead. You are forcefully subduing her. Just let her go. Look who is talking, she said with a smirk as evil as her deeds. What do you mean? She took another step towards me. If I am not wrong, you are her mate, right? You are the one who rejected her. You left her to die while you were some other ungrateful bash doesn't deserve her, and I am happy that she died. When you lose the things you take for granted, then you realize their value. Her words not only pinched, but were like a sharp knife that pierced through my heart, shattering it in pieces. It hurts because it's true. Each and every word is true. I know. I was wrong. Hell, I was the worst mate anyone can have. But I didn't know that she was the same girl I spent my whole life searching. But I still know that this is not an excuse. But what you are doing, is it right? Listen, boy, I lived for 25 years trapped inside her. She blocked me to my very existence, and there was no way to even let her know I existed. Her mother was the only one who could control me. But this girl, she was a weakling, drowning in bottles of vodka to ease the pain of rejection. She never cared for her body, and I had to control it. Now if you could leave, I have other places to be. I want to stretch in my hands and see what all I can do. It's been so long since I used them. No, I am not going anywhere. Your madness has to stop, or else being the king, I have to hurt you. You will hurt me? What a joke kid I am, in no mood to play. She tried to leave, but I stepped in her way. Okay then, if you want to die, let's make it quick. Before I could comprehend what she said, I was thrown with full force towards a tree. My wolf decided to take control, and before my body could touch the tree, my wolf skidded and turned around. We ran at full speed, ready to knock her off the ground, but before we could touch her, a blue light came my way, making my wolf paralyzed with a terrorizing shock. Hell, it felt like needles were piercing my skin while I laid motionless on the ground. My wolf refused to give up and give me back control. We are in this together, and he has the right to try and bring his mate back. I could feel pain again. The paralysis effect was worn out, and I could feel blood seeping out of new wounds. My mouth tasted the metallic taste of blood, and this made my wolf rise back on his paws again. We needed a plan. If we cannot touch her directly, we need to first distract her. You are the Thunder Wolf, who is referred to in our pages of history. Your tales of bravery used to inspire us, but I guess we all were wrong. You are nothing like the wolf we worshipped and adored. I started moving towards her without breaking eye contact. Tell me, Ezra, why are you doing this? You were and are a savior, not a monster. Please use the power given to you by Moon Goddess wisely. Don't break her trust, at least. She froze like my words affected her. I took this as a golden chance and striked at her. She, being unguarded, failed to dodge me, and my wolf slammed into her. And next, we know both of us were rolling down the hill. While she tried to push my heavy form, my wolf continued to bite her wherever he could. Finally, the slope ended, and she laid under my wolf, her eyes shining in the moonlight and her face displaying many scratches with silvery liquid flowing out of them. It was time to play my ace. One bite into her neck and all this chaos will end. I was ready to give my last shot with full strength, but I committed a blunder of looking into her eyes. Not the gray ones, but my Ezra's innocent blue ones were looking back at me. My actions halted and I froze. Ezra, I asked, and the reply left me broken. Xavier, you leave. Please, go. She started pushing me, and I changed into my human form. No, Ezra, you will have to control her. I am not leaving without you. She shook her head in a no, and endless tears flowed out of her eyes. Paul, easy. I can't. I held her face in my hands and looked straight into her teary, defeated eyes. No, Ezra, you have to. Damn it, you can't leave me. Please, Ezra, just try. I can't live without you. Please, just please try. I said, touching my forehead with her as my hot tears landed on her cheeks. I have been trying, Xavier, trying only since the day I was born. But now, my strength is washing away. But as I fade away, always remember that Ezra does, and will always love only one person. Xavier King. I held up and looked into her eyes while she confessed her love to me. Sue broken, but still too loyal. This was my Ezra's strength, and I was more than happy to say. I promise that today, either I will surrender my life for you, my love, or get you back. Whatever happens, my love for you will defy time and be infinite. She smiled at me, and before I could give her a smile back, those silver eyes returned, and the smile turned into a devilish smirk. Very clever of you to fool me, but you forgot who you are messing with. With this, my head was slammed back into the ground, and a loud crack was heard. From now on, my fate was decided as my vision became hazy, hearing became silent, and my brain stopped functioning. A numbness never felt before, a silence never heard before, and a pain never experienced before washed over me. I didn't even got time to change back to my wolf as she non-stop bombarded me with brutal blows. Numbness spread everywhere, and finally, when it settled in my brain, she left me and stepped back. I saw my end then and there. The girl standing in front of me was my life and death. She crouched down at my level to part me farewell. I could see her lips moving, but my mind was incompetent to interpret them. You, death, love, Ezra, were the only words I understood. My vision was going hazy, but I refused to close my eyes in the hope of seeing those silver eyes change back to blue ones. But as seconds passed and my body and soul decided to give up, I just looked up at the stars and asked, why can a single match make an explosion? Why can a single drop pollute an entire ocean? Why can a single matchstick made from a tree has the power to burn it to ashes? And why does everything has to end when it has just started? These 15 minutes of my life changed E122614440 minutes of my life till now. This very minute was going to end my very existence. And now, with only few seconds left, I want to ask Moon Goddess, just why did you end everything when Ezra and I were so near the light at the end of the tunnel? Why did you end everything when something was just getting started? I still see those silver-eyed staring at me, and I still wonder only one thing. Why her? Do you often get lost in the beauty of stars and wonder how in so much darkness they are capable to shine? Do you look at growing trees and wonder how a leaf is capable to defy gravity and grow upwards against it? Do you wonder why sometimes you feel in the present that an event has happened in the past and you rightly predict the future? Why these things don't have an explanation? The answer is simple. Some secrets are beyond logic and are magics of nature. We can only enjoy the show, but can never replicate them. They are the monoply of nature, and only she masters it. We may pirate it, modify it, but can never make the originals because that right is under God's patent rights. I don't know what my destiny holds now, what nature has in store for me. As I lay lifeless on the ground, with my soul ready to break free, but even that is not achieved so easily. Each second equals thousands of mind-numbing and soul-breaking pains. It feels like my brain will explode next minute and my body will in turn burn itself, but it doesn't happen. The pain continues. My screams continues, and my pleas to Moon Goddess continues to stop all this, but it didn't stop. My voice died down as my screams destroyed my vocal cords. My pain subdued as my whole body numbed with pain. My happy thoughts of us together ended as my brain slowed down. Only my eyes remained open, my heart not ready to close them and end everything. Tears streaming down dried down, leaving my dead orbs to look at her deadly silver ones. They were coming near me. The silver in them was shining as they looked at me confused. But then something unexpected and strange happened. She was next to me on the ground on her knees with screams of pain leaving her lips. Her veins were going all silver as she screamed. The light enveloping her was dying down. It looked like she was in a lot of pain. But why and how? No one is strong enough to defeat her, then how? My answer was solved when she turned around and fell on the feet of someone. A yellow light emerged from that someone as she wore a beautiful white dress with a crown of garlands on her head. Pell. Ease, forgie, me, came her voice pleading the white-clothed beauty for forgiveness. What you did, my child, can never be forgiven. I trusted you with these powers for everyone's protection, but you broke my trust and instead used it for the destruction of this beautiful world I made. You broke the very bond that makes this universe. You broke a mate bond of the poor human and him. You broke my trust in bonds. You broke apart two mates, and you cannot be forgiven. No, Moon Goddess, I just wanted to see my powers. The lady with the yellow light around her picked up her hand and pointed it towards Thunderwolf. No, 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 please. Sorry, my child, but you brought all this upon you. Return the human. No, please. The goddess spoke the words that sealed Thunderwolf's fate forever. I curse upon you the end of Thunderwolf. The wolf dies today and to never be revived again. This second onwards, only the human with pure heart survives, and only she will carry forward this legacy. As she completed her line, all the thunder in the sky came crashing down to where the Thunder Wolf stood, and under this bright light, everything ended. When light subdued, I saw those blue eyes of my mate looking at me. You, my child, are the true thunder. As they say, power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts everything. Absolute power corrupted the Thunder Wolf and blinded her mind. Now you, my child, are the only one I give this responsibility to. A human is capable alone without a wolf to protect everyone, and I trust in you. The Anku goddess, but I can't survive without him. Please, he has to live. The goddess smiled and placed her hand on Ezra's head. How can he die when you are his mate, dear? The thunder in you can light the entire world. Just pray with a clear heart and let your hands do the rest. But goddess, how? With this, the goddess vanished in the air after bringing back peace in this world of chaos. Ezra came running towards me and held my head in her laps. I just wanted to tell her the truth before dying. I was never able to say this to her, but today was my last chance. I love you. Ezra, please forgive. I couldn't complete as my strength was washing away. My eyes were closing down. And now that I've seen her beautiful blue eyes again and confessed my feelings to her, it was time to close them and find peace again. Ezra's pav. No. Xavier. No. I screamed with all my strength as he closed his eyes on me. He can't leave me. Moon Goddess said I can save him. But how? I did everything I could, but time was running out. His heartbeats were very slow and could die any second. Finally, I gave up as his body started turning ice cold. I laid my head on his chest as hot tears escaped my eyes. All the happy times came rushing back, and my silent cries turned into loud sobs. My hands were red with his blood, and I stared at them. His confession, the last words he spoke to me. He can't die. He has to listen to my reply. I need to tell him how much I love him. An unknown adrenaline rush entered my body, and I felt like sparks entering my veins. I laid my head back on his chest and remembered all the times we laughed and cried. All the time we were a happy couple and how used to lie hand in each other's arms. Along with them came the bad memories, the jealousy, the humiliation, the punishments, the banishments, the betrayal. But the lost thought I had was the one where all this started. The day I fell into his arms and looked at his hazel eyes while he held me protectively. The day his hazel eyes shined under the sunlight, and I got lost in them. The day we met without knowing what our names and positions were and what blood ran in our veins. The day I fell in love with a man who Moon Goddess chose for me, my soulmate. I love you. I love you so much, Sav. I love you. Came my last desperate cry as I heard his last heartbeat. It died, killing me along with him. My hands that tightly grabbed his blood-soaked shirt left it and laid still on him. Xavier. I screamed with all the strength left in my body, and next I know my whole body collapsed onto him, and my eyes closed down trying to reach his world by giving up mine. Inside a storm of icy winds and blinding dust laid two bodies immobily, their hands interlinked and their souls connected. The bed of forest engulfing them on the ground had turned red with blood, and silence prevailed like death. Peace, that's what there was, but it would not prevail because in the next second the silent sky was decorated with striking lights of thunder. The dead silence was filled by roaring winds, and drops of rain got mixed with the blood of the bodies lying in between. The unconscious souls whose hands were intertwined were now exchanging currents of blue electricity, and the bleeding wounds on his body were now leaking with currents instead of blood. When all the current in the sky entered and joined inside their bodies, and all the wounds on his body healed like they never existed. A mark of thunder just like the one on her chest got engraved in their wrists, under which veins of blue light engulfed them. Once their bodies reunited, just like their souls, all sounds died down. Silence again prevailed, but this time it was of peace and happiness, of love and friendship, and of binding and togetherness. Their hearts stand united with the evidence evident on the wrist. And now, as the wolf has died and their hearts have survived, they came to be known as the Thundermates. They met on enemy's boundary in storms of revenge and hate, but as their inner sparks ignite, they were left at the mercy of fate. Met once again with his hate dominating it all, her wounds salted by a replacement standing at her place. Powers got unleashed, love got redefined, and when the knock of death came to take along, they refused, standing back as allies. With determination to unite so strong and will to fight all along, they emerged as victorious to be known as king and queen of all. They lived happily ever after in each other's arms, with marks of thunder now binding their hearts to never be apart.